Mokiwape, a very good evening and welcome to our live transmission. It is still about almost midnight, 24th day of the month of May 2024. Koikimedia, Mokiwa, ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá ti láǹfààní àti tó fi gbọ́ wá ní àṣálẹ́ kọ́lọ́n jẹ́ kí gbogbo tá bá tún sọ ní alẹ́ kó lọ sínú etí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ti ní understanding ìdí pàtàkì àti ìdí kókó tí a ṣe ń sọ pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró on its own away from the contraction known as Nigeria. As we're settling into the broadcast, please help us to share the program so that it can get to more people and the message highly travel very fast. Many of you have known me. I'm OLAYOMI KOIKI, one of the many campaigners for the Yoruba people on the right to self-determination. Self-determination is an inalienable right, and that means that we would exhaust the right under the African Union Charter, under the European Union, and likewise under the United Nations as well. Bishenki gbogbo pé ẹ kálẹ́, mama sọ pé ẹ káàárọ̀, because it depends on the time zone that you are watching me from. If you're watching somewhere in China, it is already going to afternoon. If you're watching in Australia, New Zealand, it is also almost in the afternoon stroke morning. But if you're watching somewhere in the Pacific, like Canada, America, it will be almost good evening. But in the European country, it is also midnight. So we are just about 8 minutes before midnight from where this transmission is coming from. Please feel free to engage throughout the broadcast, and likewise remember to invite your friends and family to participate. Share the program to your church members, share the program to your mosque, share the program to your colleagues from the university association, and likewise your secondary school association as well. Yoruba Nation, under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akitoye, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination, he is the only leader that we have. There are so many Yoruba leaders and elders, but taban sọ̀rọ̀ nípa self-determination, we have just one man known as Professor Adebanji Akitoye. He's a professor of history, also in his 89. Stephen Adebanji Akitoye, also known as S. Banji Akitoye, was born in 1935. He studied at University of Ibadan. He has a lot of understanding about the contraction known as Nigeria. Moki Wubwenyi, Mamawa Tietin, Darapa Mawa, Moki Grandma, First Bank, Moki Nikwe, good evening and welcome. As you are joining, I'm also doing the same thing, inviting more people to participate so that we can have wider audience to listen to this live transmission. Again, it is still the 24th day of the month of May. That means that May itself is winding down. This time next week will be my birthday. All I need is money and prayer. That's all. No long thing. Stephen Adebanji, also known as S. Adebanji, was born in 1935. Is a Nigerian-born academic, historian, and a writer. And there is a book that he has written which you can get a hard copy. I'm hoping to get my own hard copy as soon as it arrives from Nigeria. I am still waiting for it, but I will get my own hard copy because it's good to always have the hard copy and keep in the house. So if you want the PDF of the book, you can get it from my website, which is free. All you need to do is just head into www.koikimedia.com, and right there on the PDF is about 519. So it's, if you're one of those that love reading when you're traveling on a long distance, you can have the book and you can start reading it. If you want copies in America, I'm aware that there's a small stock of Professor Adebanji book, which is titled A History of the Yoruba People. Taba Mobitatiwa. There is no way we can argue that we want to leave Nigeria. So it is important that if you want access to the PDF, Mokiyami Ashatishe Ekale Edekabo sórí ètò ìkànnì wa tí a mọ̀ sí Koiki. Ẹ bá wa follow Asake TV show lórí YouTube. She talks about a lot of happenings in Nigeria. I also have, Ekun Funre, Mass B, Mass B TV, another hardworking Yoruba media personality. These are Yoruba medias tí wọ́n ń ṣe nǹkan tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín náà fi ṣe, but fún díkan àdíkejì ẹ lè ṣe. So we need to appreciate all our medias, wherever they are around the world, tó ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ àti, if you follow somebody like Mass B, it tends to go straight into the development and the happenings about bí nǹkan ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀, bó ṣe ń jíyàn gbé, tó ń pààyàn, gbogbo yẹn tẹ́ bá wà lórí Mass B TV YouTube channel, ẹ lè máa gbọ́ gbogbo tó ń lọ. And for people like Mass B, Baba Ekiti, Omoluka, Iya Obasanjo, and our medias that are operating from home, Aluka and the rest, a máa rọ̀ yín pé bó jẹ́ 10,000 naira, let them have it to buy data. It costs me a lot to also have internet in the house. Without internet, we cannot operate. So it's just to appreciate us. So Moki Ashake Lenkosi, Paris TV, a very good evening. So Bishen Solo Lenko, Deba Fair copy Wenye, Losori, and good evening to our Biafra brothers that are joining us, the Ijos, the Scottish, the Welsh, and all those that want, to be free from the bondage wherever they are around the world. We have sympathy, especially for countries that locked indigenous people. It doesn't matter wherever they are. We are indigenous people. We are not Nigerians, and we need to understand that, yes, Nigeria is still a country according to the international world. But the argument is, how do we differentiate who is an indigenous person and who is a Nigerian? Níbo ni Nigeria ti ṣẹ̀ wá? These are all the conversation. But for us to know who we are, ká tó lè mọ irú èèyàn tá jẹ́, you must have a background knowledge. And that is why up to the weekend, we've been treating a topic on our platform. You know this platform, Lori International News. I love to always link Yoruba Nation with what is happening in the world. This is the UK paper for today, known as called Metro. Nibibai, the election is coming soon. This is our Prime Minister. This man is trying to contest with him. I don't know who's going to win, but I can tell you that 14 years of conservative, there's been a lot of mess. But if you look on here, when you look at this paper, the Scottish National Party, ẹni tó jẹ́ adarí wọn, the leader, argues that this election, which is about 5 weeks away in the United Kingdom, would have great importance towards the independence of the Scottish people. Àwọn ará Scotland, they are not up to 5 million. They have quality education, quality security, quality enable environment láti lè ṣe business. They have opportunities to travel around the globe with the Scottish or the British passport because Scotland is under United Kingdom. Tó bá lọ gbá ball, wọn ní láti wá máa compete pẹ̀lú England báwọn fi di squad. They can apply under their national team. Scotland represents all global sports, including football. But the campaign tí wọ́n fi gbé jáde lórí election tí wọ́n is not like the jegurujera akarateba gbẹ̀gìrì àtẹwédú politics played in that contraction. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn Koikimedia team ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ẹ bá pín ètò yìí, it's very very important. So the SNP leader promised Independence Day. Ó ń jẹ́ kó yé àwọn ará Scotland pé ká tó lè sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò ní Scotland ẹ jẹ́ ká lé àwọn conservative lọ because what is the problem? Remember that the Scottish people were given opportunity. I'm gonna count them in a minute. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé ní 2014 there was a referendum. Our movement, tá à ń pè ní Yoruba Nation movement, is a non-violent. Bàbá Akíntóyè ti sọ fún wa pé it is not going to be violent, but a máa lo common sense wa, a dẹ̀ máa lo ibi tẹ́lẹ̀dùmarè fún wa ní ìmọ̀dé, a máa ṣàdúrà, a máa bẹ Ọlọ́run nílànà Kristẹni. What God cannot do does not exist. A máa gbé Quran kalẹ̀, a máa bẹ Ọlọ́run tàwọn mùsùlùmí, a máa bẹ Ọlọ́run tàwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe tiwa, a dẹ̀ máa wá lo gbogbo ìmọ̀ta ní. I've been sleeping like a baby láti ìgbà tá a ti parí ètò lẹ́yìn ìrọ̀lẹ́. Nígbà tí mo jẹun tán, I went straight to bed, so I've got like 6 hours sleep. Bí ṣe wà báyìí mo lè gbé program yìí títí di aago 6 láàárọ̀, but ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà a mọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ní enough data. If you cannot watch it live, ẹ download ẹ̀ nígbà tí bá ṣe tán, ẹ pín sí gbogbo àwọn platforms. Èmi á máa sọ pé sórí ìwọ tó fi wá kàwé ní Scotland wàá ná ṣége owó as an international student. Àwọn ará Nàìjíríà tó wá kàwé mo sọ fún yín ó wà lórí BBC, èmi náà sọ news yẹn tó bá ń follow mi dáadáa, especially mo sọ fún yín ẹ máa tẹ̀lé mi lórí Twitter a mọ̀ sí X. As at today a ti wà ní another day báyìí, a ti wà ní 25th. Ní àná èèyàn tó pè mí láti UK tó ń sọ fún mi pé Mr. Koiki àti há sí ìlú yìí, mo ní ṣe kò sí. Student ni wọ́n. Student is not allowed to do more than 20 hours. Sori ó fi wá kàwé ní UK is a good thing, but ṣé o ní owó ẹ̀ àbókọ̀ fífi jápa? Tó o bá ní owó ẹ̀ tó fífi jápa, tó rò pé tó bá dé bíbáyìí wàá máa ṣiṣẹ́, well, number one o lè mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ wá mọ́ because wọ́n ti cover pé kò sí no more dependent. That means pé ìwọ ló máa ṣiṣẹ́, but iṣẹ́ yẹn ò lè káwó school. Tó bá ní kó san £5,000 after tó ti raise owó díẹ̀ tó fi kí má fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ torí a gbọ́dọ̀ tún máa jẹ́ kó mọ àṣírí wa torí gbogbo alámọ̀ ìdí pàtàkì àti kókó tí a fi ń wá sí ìlú yìí. Má jẹ́ kíyàn kankan tán ẹ̀. Ní 1998 tí mo kúrò Nàìjíríà mo sá lọ ni. Torí tíyàn kan bá sọ fún ẹ pé à ń lọ lóyìnbó a fẹ́ lọ kàwé, irọ́ ni, olúkálùkù ń sá lọ ni. Ìyá tó bí mi sá lọ ni ní 90s ni mo sì lè ti sá kúrò Nàìjíríà. Kò ń ṣe pé kò rí owó, ó ń tajà, ó ń jèrè, ó wá rí dọ́là pé ó ń lọ sí 40 naira. Èyí tó mú ìyá tèmi sá kúrò Nàìjíríà nìyẹn ní 1990. Kò wò bá yẹn, kò wá wò sí 2024. Ìwọ tí ó wá jẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, wọ́n ṣẹ̀ bí wọ ní 1990. Ìyá tó bí èmi ó ti ń travel kó tó bí mi. 23 countries ni ìyá mi ti lọ títí dé China. Kò sílùú náà lágbàáyé tí kò tí dé. Yugoslavia mọ̀ sí mi ti lọ síbẹ̀ because àwọn àkọ́bí bàbá mi ibẹ̀ lọ ti kàwé ní Yugoslavia. Ìwọ ṣẹ̀ wá ń sọ nísìnyí pé ìtorí ìwọ jẹ́ ẹni tó ní masters tó ní PhD ìwọ ló máa change the weak element of Tinubu àdáwọn APC, àwọn jẹgúrújẹrá, àwọn olè, àwọn má fẹ́ jẹ́ kí tẹlòmíì má dáa, kó jẹ́ pé irú tiwọn nìkan bí Yàyà Bello. Tẹ́ bá ń lọ sórí Àṣàkẹ́ TV gbogbo àwọn fídíò bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àwọn máa ń ní time. Èmi ò mọ bó ṣe ń join fídíò mọ́ra wọn, ìyẹn lèmi ò kí ń ṣe. bóra àwọn Yèyé Dára, àwọn Lady K, àwọn mọ̀ nípa ká gbé fídíò ká join ẹ̀ mọ́ra wọn, èmi ò mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. bó ní pé ká ṣe analysis orí ètò yìí ló ti máa gbádùn ẹ̀ wàláì. orí ètò tí bíbá máa fún ẹ ní analysis, máa join. sórí o fẹ́ lọ kàwé ní Scotland, ará Scotland tí ọ̀fẹ́ làwọn kàwé, Scottish citizen, níbi tí Máyégún wà. ó ṣàmọ̀ bàbá kan tó ń pè ní Máyégún general. Máyégún là wà mọ́ o tó jẹ́ olódodo. sórí ibi tó wà yẹn ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀fẹ́ lòun máa kàwé. ọmọ tiẹ̀ tó bá dé ìlú yìí, that's tó bá gbé dé ìlú yìí ọ̀fẹ́ ni. bó sórí ìwọ fúnra rẹ̀ o máa ná ṣégi owó. That is where it is important that we now fight. Tábà ní fight, ní kẹ́ lọ gbébọn, ní kẹ́ dà lóru, ní kẹ́ pààyàn. We fight for the right of the indigenous Yoruba people láti lè bọ́ kúrò nínú oko ẹrú wàhálà Nàìjíríà, torí wàhálà ni. So mo kí wa tó o bá mọ Yorùbá anthem, mo ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ wá bẹ ṣe máa mọ̀. gbogbo wa la mọ̀ ń bọ̀ power journalist document oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń gbé kiri nìyẹn. gbogbo fáìlì tí bàbá Akíntóyè bá ti ṣe èmi máa ń print ẹ̀ jáde. èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ ní printer nínú ilé, basic necessity ni. bọ̀ Nàìjíríà tó bá ní ṣo ní printer, á ní náà Koiki náà ló fẹ́ kí n expect kí n fi máa print. ibo ni ti máa rówó máa ra ink. mo kí brọ́dà wa Ẹniọlá Adéwálé Olúwaṣeun. ẹni bá kí mi ni máa lè rí. tẹ́ ẹ bá kí mi, tẹ́ bá wà lábẹ́ ètò, màá kọ́ sọ pé mo kí yín náà ni. So that is all I can do. mo kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa bẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé. bàbá mi Ìdòwú Matthew, ṣẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀ ń tẹ́ wà nílé áyún yín ó ń ṣe wá ní gbogbo ìgbà. ó dàbí ìgbé nígbà míì ká gbé gbogbo ìlú yìí ká kọ̀ gbé sínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kí iná wà, security wà. tí bá pe olórí ẹbí wa wà látàpé já sáré ṣeré dé Manchester nísìnyẹn, kò sí bàbá ńlá kankan tó máa ṣe wá. tá a bá ti kọjá speed limit, tá a dẹ̀ mọtí, tá a dẹ̀ rọra ń lọ, tó bá wá rẹ̀ wá a páàkì sí ibi tó ń pè ní motor park, tí wàá sùn wàá tún dìde. Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe country, má jẹ́ kíyàn kankan tán ẹ̀. sórí àwọ̀ ọ̀bẹ ẹ̀sìn kankan jà, má jẹ́. mo kí Ọlákúnlé brother mi káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. mo kí zi, mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí. tó o bá mọ Yorùbá anthem ó dẹ̀ mọ kíbọ̀ rọ́ọ̀kì, ọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀ kíbọ̀ ó mọ àwọn orin tó máa ń kọ yẹn, àwọn orin oríṣiríṣi tẹ máa ń kọ, bó dẹ̀ jà pàlà ni. o gbọ́dọ̀ lọ mọ Yorùbá anthem. ìyẹn ni identity láti kọ́kọ́ sọ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí. wọ́n tí kò tí ń kà ní Lagos State náà, wọ́n dà pọ̀ tí ń kà náà ní wọ́n dà pọ̀ tí ń kà ní ẹ̀mábìnú ṣe ní fóònù kan tó spare. kò lè dá kí fóònù máa spare nígbà tí a lè máa fi ṣe program. ó dà pé lè ti charge díẹ̀. àwa náà máa ń charge nǹkan. sórí gbogbo ẹ̀yìn mi báyìí iná ni mo tàn yìí, kò ń ṣọ̀fẹ́ o. tílẹ̀ bá mọ́ nísìn, mo gbọ́dọ̀ fún ìyàwó mi lówó, kó gbọ́dọ̀ top up iná yẹn. bọ̀ orí fóònù làwa máa ti ń sanwó iná yẹn, àdèmà níná. ìwọ náà fẹ́ sanwó iná kò lè bá rí iná, but Nàìjíríà kò fún yín níná tó constant. so púpọ̀ nù yín nísìn orí fóònù ẹ̀ tí ń wò mí nínú darkness. ó ní brother mi kan máa ń gbọ́ program, á ní Mr. Koiki Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kẹ́ pààyàn. èwo tún ni wọ́n ń ṣe kíbọ̀rọ̀kì nínú ooru. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìbẹ̀rù pé mi ò fẹ́ fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀. ìbíbà yóò ń ṣe platform àlùfànṣá, so code la máa fi ń sọ̀rọ̀. òun ṣe kíbọ̀rọ̀kì nínú ooru. ẹ wá tún wá bímọ, wá lóyún, ìyàwó ẹ lóyún, ẹ wá ń gbé lọ sí hospital, àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì wá ń gbọ́ orí ẹ̀. ṣé mo rán yín iṣẹ́ kẹ́ máa ṣe kíbọ̀rọ̀kì nínú ooru? no duty of care. ìlú òfò, ìlú tó ba ayé tiẹ̀ jẹ́, kò ń ṣayé tiwa ló bàjẹ́. bọ̀ ṣé wàá máa tó jẹ́ káyé Nàìjíríà bàjẹ́ àwọn yẹn gbádùn ayé wọn ṣòro àwọn ọmọ ìwé nísìn ṣòro àwọn tó máa ṣe application visa ẹ̀ ìwọ tó fi wọlé kọ́lọ́njẹ́ orí visa yẹn gbà wọ́n wà ní club báyìí nísìn tó ń mọtí tó ń ṣe fàájì bìkọ́ wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ wọ́n ti sanwó fún wọn. Mo rí àwọn èèyàn ní Àkúrẹ́ níbi táwọn tíìmù àti ní báǹkì kan tó ń pè ní heritage, àwọn báǹkì òfò, àwọn báǹkì àdánù olè. Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe máa san sálárì èèyàn fóṣù méjì kí báǹkì wá mú mọ́lẹ̀? Irú system yẹn ló fẹ́ àbí? Àwọn ò fẹ́ irú system yẹn. O gbọ́dọ̀ mọ Yorùbá anthem, òun lélẹ̀ lọ́ọ̀kọ́ bọ́ ṣe ń kà. Má máa jẹnu ẹlòmíà máa jẹnu ni. Èmi náà mo kọ ni, gbogbo àná la gbọ́ Barrister la gbọ́ Wàsíù. O gbọ́dọ̀ mọ ilé náà, it is important. Ẹ̀tọ́ ẹni, right ẹni. Ó yá gbóhùn sókè. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wá. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ti sáré fún mi lówó. Ó ní Naija don cast. Àwọn gbòógì sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ làwọn yẹn. Àwọn mọ bọ́ ṣe ń join, èmi ò mọ bọ́ ṣe ń join fídíò lèmi ò ṣe ń ṣe. Èmi náà wish kò ń ṣe gbogbo kan nìyẹn mọ̀. Ṣé tó bá yẹ pé mo mọ bọ́ ṣe ń join fídíò oh my, èmi náà máa là mọ́lẹ̀ máa join ẹ̀. But èmi like a straight program tí máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ wé ọ̀rọ̀, tá a máa connect the dots. Mo kí ẹ lẹ́ǹkan sí brother mi, kò ní tán níbẹ̀ níbi tó ti mú, torí kò ń ṣe bíbá nìkan ló ti ń náwó. O wá wo pé mídíà nìyẹn, wàá tún máa náwó. Wàá dé platform náà máa ń rí ẹ ń bẹ̀, wàá fún wọn ní super chat, fún wọn ní kíní. Ṣé torí super chat la ṣe ṣe Yorùbá nation? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló máa ti jẹ bomb bastard. Mọ̀ sí mi dẹ̀ ti ní kí ẹ máa bóyọ̀ mọ́. Ìyá yẹn dẹ̀ máa búra, mo sì sọ fún ẹ má máa bú wọn mọ́, ṣáà máa bá mi educate wọn. Mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí. Tó o bá ti pé ètò, mo máa ń wonder pé ṣé mo ṣẹ́ ni? O like wa, ẹ bá wa pín, ẹ like, ẹ thumbs up. Èèyàn 20 àmà wo program, èèyàn kan akọ thumbs up. Ní kẹ́ fún wa lówó lórí yẹn, ẹ thumbs up. Èmi náà ń share eléyìí lọ sórí àwọn platform tó kù. Máa ń like láti gbé sórí status mi, so tó bá ti wà lórí status mi wà á kọ́ click lé lórí ni. Ó yá, tó bá ti máa ń tẹ̀mí yẹn, ìwọ náà má jẹnu, máa kà síta ni, má jẹnu. Látàárọ̀ iṣẹ́ là ń ṣe nílùú yìí, kò sọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ nílùú yìí. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby ó tún jù kan sí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ yìí wú mi lórí, kò ní tán níbẹ̀ fún ẹ, kò ní tán níbẹ̀ láéláé. Ọlọ́run lọ̀gá gbogbo wa, èmi kàn ń ṣe ìgbìyànjú tèmi ni. Mo máa ń sọ fẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà nílé, we are all ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan náà ló ràn lára wa. Ìyàtọ̀ kan ni pé àwa parent wa kan wọ́n rí vision pé má jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ mi pẹ́ sí Nàìjíríà. Irú mọ́mísí tèmi rí vision yẹn ni. Kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n ránṣẹ́ sí mọ́mísí mi pé kó sá kúrò Nàìjíríà. Òun ló ránṣẹ́ sí rẹ̀ tóun fi sá kúrò ní 1990. Àwọn ìyá tó ń travel pẹ̀lú over $100,000 láti lọ rajà, àwọn máa ń taṣọ ní gọ́tà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ, gọ́tà ni ìyá mi ti ń taṣọ, and she was also a secretary at the Mobile. Kò dẹ̀ jalè tó fi ṣetán níbẹ̀. Bomb bastard. Gbọ́n sókè. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wá, fúnrílẹ̀ ibi wá, kàgbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù la bọ́ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwọn òyìnbó mọ̀ wá jura wa lọ, àwa la mọ́ra wa. I am a Nigerian. There is nothing called Nigeria. Òyìnbó pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́ lúkúlúkú pẹ́ẹ́pẹ́. Bá mi kí ìyá mi ẹlẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ọmọ tó bá rí plane tó ń travel. kò dáa kíyàn má ní understanding àtẹ̀mí náà wà Nàìjíríà bọ̀ ó kọ̀ jẹ́ pé irú àwa mọ̀mísí tiwa ti ń travel láti kékeré lèmi ti mọ̀ pé mọ̀mísí mi máa ń wọ plane wọ́n máa ń ṣáà ń lọ bìkan à ń lọ fúnjọ́ mẹ́ta ìgbà mi mọ̀mísí mi ṣe U-turn ní 1980 nígbà táwọn olókòwò làwọn ìyá wa Nàìjíríà ló sọ wọ́n di bí ó ṣe dìlé ni. Our mothers are traders. We have been trading for centuries. Ó máa wà lára nǹkan máa sọ lálẹ́. Àwọn òyìnbó tó dé bá wa sọ pé nígbà táwọn dé sí ibì kan tó ń pè ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá òwò ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀. Òwò in the 80s nígbà tí video cassette kọ́kọ́ jáde kò wo bí tí technology ti délé ni èèyàn mélòó ló ń wo video cassette mọ́ nísìn. But when it came out in the 80s U-turn ni mo sì ní máa lọ fi ń kó wá láti America. U-turn ọmọ tó ń pè ní U-turn. You leave Nigeria on a Friday, you arrive at JFK airport on a Saturday morning and you are coming back with that same flight. Tó bá máa fi di alẹ́ ọtún ti gbéra by Sunday ó ti wọnú ilé. Tó bá sọ fún mi pé mo sì mi travel wá sọ pé rọ ni. Let's start with this again. Most of the Yoruba city walls, ògiri, wọ́n pè bìkan ní city wall, were great works of engineering. A níbi kan tó ń pè ní pyramid, a dẹ̀ níbi kan tó ń pè ní China wall. Ṣó mọ̀ pé tìbí tó wà ní tìjẹ̀bú nísàlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Let me first tell you about the China wall. Èmi ò tí ì di China rí. Mo bẹ̀ Ọlọ́run kọ́ lọ́run jẹ́ kí èmi náà lè travel débẹ̀. But wọ́n pè bìkan ní the China wall. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo the Great Wall of China bó ṣe máa ń pè nìyẹn. The Great Wall WALL. Àmàmà ní Whiskey Alpha Lima Lima or o lè sọ pé Woman Alpha Lima Lima Wall ògiri. The Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortifications. Wọ́n lò àwọn kìíní ẹ̀ níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn láti fi protect agbègbè wọn bí àwa náà ṣe lò ó níjẹ̀bú wall láti fi protect agbègbè wa. Ṣé wàá mọ̀ pé the Ìjẹ̀bú wall ó gùn ju ti China lọ, ó ní strong engineering background ju ti China lọ, but reason tí kò ṣe yọ síta ni pé abẹ́ Nàìjíríà ní Ìjẹ̀bú wall wà. Jẹ́ túbọ̀ kà fún ẹ. Àìtíjọ́ dé China ni so a máa kà náà ni. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortifications. Kí ló ń pè ní fortification? Ọ̀nà káwa náà máa ní ẹ lọ dira. O lè dira pẹ̀lú Bible tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó mọ̀ lò nìyẹn, kò ń ṣe dandan ni kó lọ sọ́dọ̀ babaláwo. Tó bá jẹ́ pé Quran ló fi lè dira lọ dira, nítorí pé àsìkò kan máa dé bá ṣe ń ba lọ yìí kọ́lọ́hún ní jẹ́ káwa àti ìwọ àti mọ̀lẹ́bí ẹ̀ ká kọ́fì ẹ̀jẹ̀ tiwa ká fi bá Nàìjíríà lọ. Àwọn tí wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ ká lọ ní a máa fẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn tà sílẹ̀ bìkan Nàìjíríà máa pín. Gbọ́n tí Wọlé Ṣóyínká sọ ó ní ẹ̀dín Nnamdi Kanu mú kí ni reason ẹ̀ tú sílẹ̀ kí wàhálà má bàa ṣẹlẹ̀. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Prophet Femi Emmanuel ní there is imminent. Tóyìnbó kan bá jáde tó ní mo kí bàbá mi Adégbòróyè Ọpẹ́yẹmí Àdìsá olórúkọ bàbá mi Ìgbòho ṣá Odóyè Ìgbòho mo kí bàbá Akíntóyè mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ mo kí àwọn ìyàwó mi mo kí àwọn ọmọ. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortification. Wọ́n fi ń dira ni but ògiri ni wọ́n wá build ẹ̀ láti fi protect òṣè ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bobby oníkẹ́bà pín ètò ẹ̀pin ẹ jẹ́ kó kárí ilé. Wọ́n máa fi protect ìlú wọn against the enemies just like nígbà táwa náà wà ní that era ọ̀tá ti pọ̀ jù. Ìyá mi rúkà àtọ̀mọ́ àwọn ọmọ tó jọ mẹ́ta báńkì wo àwọn ará Paris. The Great Wall yẹn àwa náà ní níjẹ̀bú-Òde igbó ti yí gbogbo ẹ̀ka but tásìkò bá dé a máa open it up ó máa di tourist attraction destination for people that wants to come and see because tìjẹ̀bú wall yẹn is thousands better than pyramid of Egypt and the Great Wall of China. But how do we know this if we don't come out of Nigeria? Bàbá Akíntóyè a ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa urbanized people ìyẹn lórí program tá a ṣe lọ́sàn-án, but nísìnyí à ń gbẹ́nu lọ sórí most of the Yoruba city walls, gbogbo àlàpà ògiri tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá were great works of engineering. Àwa ní àwọn tó ṣetán ní yunifásitì, ẹlòmíì ò lọ yunifásitì but ọpọlọ tọ́lọ́run fún gẹ́gẹ́ bí Ọlọ́run ṣe dá ìran Yorùbá, ó mọ̀ nípa engineering, ó kàn ní ká nurture díẹ̀díẹ̀ sí. Mo kí ẹ Alex Mamu onígẹ̀ nìyẹn, tó bá rí picture igẹ̀ yọ báyìí, èmi náà wá láti máa lọ sí gym, mo fẹ́ ká gẹ̀ mi yọ, ó kọ́ ẹ pé a lè ṣègẹ̀ fún àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wọn nísìnyí, bí afúyàwó mi nìkan àtẹ̀yìn tẹ́ wà lórí mídíà bàbá àwọn ìpàdé ṣe program. Mo kí bàbá mi David Adégòkè. Bàbá Akíntóyè wá ń jẹ́ kó yé wa pé the great work yẹn it is a work of engineering. Báwo ló ṣe mọ àmọ́ yẹn, báwo ló ṣe ṣe, báwo ló ṣe tó. Technology ò tí dé báyìí tá a bá sọ pé ó yá gbé laser, ó yá modify ẹ̀, kí n tó hang kìíní mo calculate ṣe ti bá ti ṣe báyìí ṣe máa rí lẹ́yìn. But àwọn lo ìmọ̀ tọ́lọ́run fún wọn. Once again, a very good evening. Modern researchers who have done research on one of the city walls tó ń pè ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde city wall, ó ń bẹ ní ó sì wà níbẹ̀, but how do we develop it? Nigeria is not ready to develop it because ó máa outshine Nigeria. Ṣe rántí pé during the western region wọ́n sọ fún wa pé à ń yá Nigeria lówó, kódà a yá British lówó, Yoruba people a yá Britain tí tó ń wò yìí, Britain a yá lówó. You can now see that it is a deliberately, wọ́n mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ fi jẹ́ kí ìran wa kó má tàsé. A sọ nípa prosperity ní ọ̀sán yìí àbí lọ́sàn àná, jọra ti wà ní ọjọ́ Saturday lẹ́nìí lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ní 22 minutes past 12 midnight. Koiki lẹ́ ń gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀. Òfin rí prosperity nílùú tí kò fún ẹ ní backup. How do you get that prosperity? The city walls known as the Ìjẹ̀bú Òde city wall, I've described it as one of the greatest man-made structures of the ancient world. Ìjẹ̀bú wall, wọ́n sọ pé it is described as one of the greatest man-made structures of the ancient world. Báwo ló ṣe rí ṣe? How was this done? With limited technology during that era. But today, Ìjẹ̀bú wall is not shining because it was killed by being part of Nigeria. Ìyẹn mo ṣe ń sọ pé it is not the territory that is the problem. Tabani zone in Nigeria, we are talking about the name, the brand. Everything is a brand. Apple is a brand. Samsung is a brand. Nissan is a brand. Oh my God. Tó bá rí the latest electric vehicle, one of the best so far, òun ni Jaguar. Èmi ti rí lórí motorway. Ó yàtọ̀ sí other electric. Èmi ò ti drive rí. So why then have we allowed this crazy brand known as Nigeria, Nigeria, that is not up to 150 years old? Gbogbo Nigeria is still under 120 years old. Why not allow us to reverse it, go back to our true history and identity, and still have relationship with the rest of the world? Gbogbo àgbáyé. I love to show you my little map. The big one is behind me. We will still have cordial relationship. But Nigerians are so adamant. We are going to make all efforts to fix Nigeria. And I asked, how are you going to do that in a country where we have not and we will not have peace? Because we are never one and we can never be one. Yes, we can marry and intermarry, That there's not a wrong in that. If you find love in an Hausa woman or Hausa man, go ahead. If you find love in an Igbo woman, or go ahead. But that does not mean that we would have peace. There will never be peace. So you looking for peace in Nigeria, you will not find peace. It is not a cause. It is a fact. And that fact is what we will continue to tell you. And that is why we have told President Tinubu to dialogue with the Yoruba people so that we can have understanding, mutual understanding on how we will leave Nigeria. Àwọn kan ní Koiki lè bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ kó gbọ́, mo ní let us give a try. We know that Tinubu is a weaker element, very, very weak element. I am not expecting too much from Tinubu, so I will not be surprised if nothing comes out of it. But that does not mean you don't dialogue. We are not living in that era where you cannot dialogue. America continues to dialogue with its enemies, and they have a lot of enemies. North Korea, America is still dialoguing with them. They must have restricted a lot of things from them, but they still dialogue because bọ̀bọ́n yẹn crazy gan, ó ní nuclear weapon tó pọ̀ tó lè dé America. I am not joking. He can fire one and he will get to America. So wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa dialogue pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ lẹ́ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan torí pé olórí kórí ni kó má lọ tẹ button. Russia has a lot of nuclear power. Russia is already moving them close to the Ukraine border because ó náà wọn west wà láwọn ti fi pọ̀ kó má jẹ́ pé nuclear weapon la máa fi pa gbogbo ara wa. So America must continue to dialogue. So when people come and say, mo ka comment kan láìpẹ́ kí n tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ program, èèyàn máa lè. A ti mọ̀ pé púpọ̀ mi yẹn ń ṣe Yorùbá náà. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ yín ò ń ṣe Yorùbá. Lábẹ́ program tí mo ṣe lọ́sàn-án, ó wá lọ comment síbẹ̀ sí abẹ́ bàbá APC Yorùbá Nation. Yorùbá Nation is not a political party. Kò kí ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́. It is a movement. In tó bá dẹ̀ pé ní movement, it does not matter how long it will take. OLAKUNLE, Nigeria is going through self-disintegration. Tribal mob ice is getting high. I don't know whether you've been following all of climate change. I don't want them to bring it to Africa because I want to make owó kó tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ climate change. Àwọn náà gbọ́dọ̀ wà industrialized kó tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ climate change. But the argument is that the sea, the ice, won't dissolve at some speed. Oní Nàìjíríà ní pé ta ló ń sàn fún ọ innovation wo ló ti ń rí yẹn lágbára Jésù Kristi gbogbo in tó bá ní Nàìjíríà ò ní pín Ọlọ́run bá wa tú èdè yẹn kúrò but ní wá ní lágbára Jésù ká má fi effort sí effort yẹn là ń ṣe nísìn ní agbára àwọn tó ní kúnkúṣì ní ti àwọn ti mùsùlùmí gbogbo bí tó bá dé Nàìjíríà mọ́ ní inshallah Ọlọ́run àwọlá gbogbo útúbà tó ké ní gbogbo àgbáyé ní gbogbo bí tí wọ́n ti ń kírun ẹ má sọ pé kí ló kàn wá pẹ̀lẹ́ sìn ọ̀dẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ti ní kí n má bùn yín mọ́. I don't like you to say ẹ̀sìn wo lẹ tún sọ̀rọ̀ nípa no it is what people believe in. Ẹlòmíì òkúta ló believe ní gbogbo bí tó ti kéwú tó bà lánàá gbogbo ẹni tó bá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní tú inshallah wọ́n máa bá lọ ni ọkùnrin ni obìnrin ni ọmọdé ni bàbá ṣe ń gbà lójoojúmọ́ nìyẹn kọ́ọ̀lù ló ń fẹ́ wọlé yẹn jáwọ́ ọmọ pa wà live láago 12 tó bá yẹ pé mo ti sùn náà bá ṣe máa pè mí àwọn ará Amẹ́ríkà rẹ̀ ló máa ń sábà pè ní táàmì mo kí wọlé nǹkan sí mo ní lágbára àwọn tó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ìyá mi Jọkẹ́ Bọ́dúnrin mo kẹ́ brọ́dà mi báńkì gbogbo àwọn tí Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ local government owó tẹ̀ ń ná tẹ̀ fi ń ra data kún ṣòwò kékeré Adéwálé Adéyẹmí mo kẹ́ báńkì gbogbo àwọn ará Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ mo kí gbogbo àwọn ará Agége OBJ mo kí yín. mo kí ìyá mi Ọmọlọ́pẹ́ àwọn orúkọ yẹn má bínú mo fi lọ máa pè kí má lọ má sákẹ̀ sọjọ́ ìrora fílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lágbára àwọn olómọlẹ̀ Yorùbá lágbára àwọn tó sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn ò ní gbà mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́, lágbára gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ńláńlá, àwọn alágbára tó ti lọ táwa ò rí, Ọlọ́run á fún wa ní bàbá Akíntóyè, ó fún wa ní Ọ̀túnba Adémọ́lá, ó wá fún wa ní olóyè Ìgbòho. àwọn ọba Ṣàngó bọ̀ a gbọ́ nípa wọn, a gbọ́ nípa wọn lé a wá ń rí Ìgbòho gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹlẹ́ran ara tèmi àti ẹ̀. Mo bá brọ́dà mi kan sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ̀wọ̀n fún àwọn brothers wa máa ń pọ̀, wọ́n ní Kóìkì mo ò rí ẹ rí bọ̀ à ń wò ẹ́ látẹ̀yìn pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Wọ́n ní omi bọ́ lójú àwọn oníjọ́ táwọn rí olóyè tó ń sunkún, wọn náà náà dẹ̀ ń sunkún nínú ilé àwọn pé àwọn ọmọ ò sí ní Nàìjíríà, ẹni tó lè jẹ tó lè mu ó ní lọ́wọ́, ó wá da gbogbo yẹn sílẹ̀, ó wá ń sáré pé kí ìran ẹ̀ kí ó lè ní àlùyọ, kó lè ní àṣeyọrí lénìí àti lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la, ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ pa. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan á dẹ̀ jáde wọ́n á ní wọ́n á fẹnu mi pèpèkúpè sólóyè. Kábíyèsí Elédùmarè, how did ṣé ìtẹ́ wọn sọ nísìnyí pé ṣẹlẹ̀ ìtẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà má fara wé àwọn tó wà ní London àti America àti Canada àti Europe, sórí ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà ìwọ wá ń sọ pé tóyìnbó ṣe látara tí olóyè wá fi reverse àti bàbá Akíntóyè in a non-violent way. Kò ń ṣe pé tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe violent a lè ṣe violent, ìyẹn ló easy jù. Ìwọ náà wò nísìn látọdún mẹ́rin ta ló ń violent ara wọn nínú Nàìjíríà? Ṣáwa Yorùbá campaigners lábẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè ṣáwa là ń violent yín àbí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì yín àtàwọn Fúlàní àtàwọn tó ní yín lára? Because nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation lójú yín àwa aládà bíi enemies. Ọ̀fẹ́ yẹn ká gbé Tinubu wọlé, Kóìkì ó jókòó sí London ó ń pèrò ogun. Èmi lẹni mò ń pe ète ogun, mo ní nǹkan tí mo fi ja ogun. Tinubu ti fẹ́ ṣọdún kan tán nísìn, ìwọ náà béèrè ẹ pé ṣé ẹ ṣọ́ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀ sí nínú ogun? Because ìlú tí kò sí any standard of any working condition, you are already at war. Ṣó mọ̀ pé èèyàn tó ti pa nínú ọdún kan tí Tinubu dé nísìn kò ń ṣe kékeré, kò ń ṣe pípa terrorist nìkan. Brother wa kan lára àwọn ọmọ Biafra ní bíi South East ní bíi Yorùbá dẹ́ni tó wà lówèrè, ó ní last week, kò ń ṣe pé àwọn èèyàn náà kì í kó káàkiri àgbáyé o, mo kí ẹlẹ́ǹkan sí mass b báńkì ìyàwó àtọmọ, ó ní 33 people ní truck crush mọ́lẹ̀ ní Òwèrè. Kí ló ń fa gbogbo kinní yẹn? Gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò àsọnù, gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò tó ti abandon tá kó wá sí Nàìjíríà, abandon mọ́tò ní àfẹn tó bá rówó ra mọ́tò tuntun bí àwọn Davido àwọn olówó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn accident car tó ń kó wá sí Nàìjíríà, ṣé gbogbo ẹ̀lẹ́ wá lè sáfíìsì dáadáa tó máa ń lé àṣàmì bírèkì tí bírèkì ò ní ṣiṣẹ́? Because kò sí standard. Ọ̀bẹ ẹ̀dá kò gbé mọ́tò kan jáde nílùú yìí kó má ní standard. Ṣé jẹ́ ká padà síbi táwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó lọ. The Great Wall of China is a series of fortifications that were built across the historical northern borders of the ancient Chinese state and the imperial China as protection against nomadic groups of the Eurasian steppe. Ìdí tó ṣe máa ń create àwọn wall yẹn wọ́n fi ń defend agbègbè ni, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a ṣe ṣe. Wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn tó bá òyìnbó jà jù òun làwọn Ìjẹ̀bú. Mo kí ẹni Ọlọ́run dá, ẹni Ọlọ́run dá. Wọ́n ní even àwọn tí ebi ń pa ó kú ju àwọn tí kò sí rẹ́kọ̀dì wọn lọ. It might be like kí làwọn eléyìí ń sọ yìí, but evidence are there. Ebi ò ń ṣe nǹkan tó dáa. Tèmi náà bá gbàwẹ̀, èmi náà máa ń gbàwẹ̀, mo máa ń gbà mí yá 6 hours. sórí moment tó jẹun yẹn òun restrict àwọn arànú ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe pé ìwọ aládùúrà tó yẹ pé mọ̀ báwọn aládùúrà lè gbé lọ fún 21 days olúkálukú ló ní kọ́lọ̀ má jẹ́ kọ́ wá ní ọ̀sà lọ́jọ́ iwájú because tó bá ń febi panú títí ọ̀sà ló fi ń ṣeré yẹn púpọ̀ nù yín ti ní ọ̀sà tẹ́ mọ̀ púpọ̀ nù yín tẹ́bi pa tíyà ń jẹ kò ń ṣe fọ́ọ̀tì yín it's a deliberate act a máa sọ débi ọ̀rọ̀ lóúnjẹ dé wàá gbọ́ bílẹ̀ Yorùbá ṣe rí ní 15th 16th century lójú ọ̀dà bí ìgbà tó pẹ́ kò pẹ́ these are some decades back àwa débi tọmọ Yorùbá débi ń pa wá ìyà ń jẹ wá and when we are here arguing it ara àwọn kan ní àwa kàwé tó pọ̀ àwa la máa change system yẹn ó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ dídayọ̀ Israel àwọn yẹn politician jẹun ni wọ́n iṣẹ́ tó mọ̀ ṣe nìyẹn as much as I love Dayo Israel irú àwọn yẹn yẹ kí energy wọn kájọ máa ṣe Yorùbá nation òun náà adé fìlà bí Haúsá òun prepare strategic fún àwọn youth nínú Nàìjíríà the youth will wake up kẹrẹ́yìn ọ̀dọ́ ẹ máa lọ ṣe TikTok kẹ lọ máa jó gógó níbẹ̀ power tap ó yá ẹ fún wa ní pens táwọn ọ̀dọ́ ní China tán sọ wọ́n di billionaires gbogbo àwọn tó create gbogbo àwọn Binance bẹ́ẹ̀ máa sọ fún yín gbogbo ẹ̀ lórí platform ìwọ tó ń wò mí nísìn ká ló sọ fún yín pé ìwọ náà o lè create system débi pé gbogbo wa máa lò tí wọ́n máa dolówó rẹpẹtẹ táwa náà máa wá dolówó látara tiẹ̀ ẹ power tap ẹ wò dí tèmi ẹ wò gbáyà mi ìyẹn la ló ń ṣe it's good for those that are doing it ẹ bá ń rówó lórí ẹ. Let's come back to kí ni reason tí Ìjẹ̀bú-Wọ̀ yẹn ṣe ní kìmí òun ni bàbá Akíntóyè fi ṣàlàyé fún wa pé àwọn tó build ẹ̀ nígbà táwọn researcher dé pé ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì ń ṣe research ṣá ní Nàìjíríà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá no research centers ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn research center kan wà ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní iná 24/7 based on whatever tẹ bá ń ṣe níbẹ̀ especially tó bá nìkan tó ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀yẹ yìí náà àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan wà débi pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa tutù kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbóná púpọ̀ nínú bẹ̀ ṣé lè tí UCI University of Ibadan kò ní iná so how are they gonna do research gbogbo àwọn professor yẹn wọ́n ti fẹ́ sọ wọ́n di mental people níbẹ̀ because iṣẹ́ tó ti kà ìwé tó kà yẹn wọ́n ò jẹ́ kọ́ rí lò they are trying but wọ́n ò jẹ́ kọ́ rí lò ìmọ̀ yẹn yẹ kó ti máa pass ẹ̀sẹ̀ lómi and when we are here talking mo ní àǹtí mi kan ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní ìdí táwọn ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá nation ni pé bàbá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ more than 35 years fún federal government kò gba pension tó fi kú bàbá yẹn nígbà tó máa kú lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní ṣe gbogbo wàhálà tóun ṣe gbogbo àgùn wọn pátá fún Nàìjíríà wọn ò ní san pension fóun tóun máa fi jáde láyé wọ́n ní bàbá yẹn wá ní òun pity the next generation àìtí bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation ní àwọn tí wọ́n ní ilé ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o wọ́n bẹ̀ mí pé lórí pension yẹn pé kí n máa gbẹ́nu lé ní gbogbo ìgbà pé níbo lowó àwọn bàbá àwọn ìyá tó ṣe wàhálà ní Nàìjíríà àwọn mọ́mì wa àwọn dádì wa owó pension kí ló fi ṣe gbogbo àwọn grandma tí máa ń sọ pé grandma títí kan mọ́ sí tèmi náà grandma ni wọ́n ní àsìkò wọ́n mọ̀gbà tówó máa wọ́n ò ní láti lọ́bì owó pension ni wọ́n automatic ló máa wọnú àkáǹtì wọn mo wà lọ́dọ̀ mọ́ sí mi níjẹta ìlú yìí máa ń fún wọn ní extra owó kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú ọdún kọ̀ọ̀kan láti fi support àwọn pensioners ìlú ìkẹrẹ conservative èmi mọ̀ tó máa wọlé o but 14 years wọn wọ́n ti squeeze àwa náà díẹ̀ wọ́n wá náà wọ́n pé àwọn pension office pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dún yìí àárí járajára tẹ máa ń fún wa yẹn wọ́n ní kò tí ìyọ náà ní o bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe máa ń sọ pé kò yọ wọ́n ní àwọn èèyàn wa ń ṣe POS, kí lẹ máa ṣe sí? That is the only opportunity. ṣé mọ̀ pé POS yẹn is meant to be equivalent to an ATM. ìyá ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. ẹ ṣe máa ń ra àwọn fídíò mi kéékèèké kan tí mo ń ṣe lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Mo lọ sábúlé kan, abúlé tó bá ní abúlé paraku, mo bá POS pàdé níbẹ̀, but mo bá ATM pàdé. Why do you need a POS across every part of Yoruba land? ṣé àwọn pọ́ fi ń ṣe business ni àwọn olórí burúkú bankers yẹn, àwọn olè, àwọn jẹgúrújẹrá. Ẹ má bínú if you don't understand Yoruba, but we're trying to carry everybody along. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa, and welcome once again. I have the strength to go all the way down to 6 a.m. tí wọn náà bá ní strength yẹn, tó bá dẹ̀ ní data fẹ́, tó bá ní data o lè bọ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ kó wá download ẹ̀ later. And I know most of you get some late night bundles and all that. It's not cheap in Nigeria, neither is it cheap here in UK. My internet cost me about almost 50 something pounds, including my TV package, more than Sky Sports, because Omo èmi ń wo sport, but tá bá fẹ́ gbọ́ sport, ọmọ mi ní bó ṣe máa sanwó fún máa wò. Viking Mokia. Good evening if you're new to the platform. There are different platforms. There's billions of people around the world. There's billions on Facebook. If you feel comfortable, you have the right to go. But I am talking about the history of Yoruba people. According to Baba Kitoye. It is worth listening to. So that even if you believe in one Nigeria, how we used to be before the whole thing was destroyed. Okay, 3 to 10. Once again, Alan Conde, inú máa ń bí ni, mo rírí, mo mọ̀, but Yoruba nation ló jẹ́ kí ìfẹ́ wà fún gbogbo wa. We are, yes, I need problem tiwa náà tájọ́ máa ń dì pẹ̀lú, but we love each other as Yoruba people. Yes, we can have people that are, we are human beings. Alan Conde ni, a 46-year-old lady living with her mother without children, still telling me Nigeria will still be better at 46. Ó ti lò 4 decades láyé. Ó dẹ̀ sọ pé Nigeria will still better. Bó ṣe sọ fún màmá ẹ̀ náà nìyẹn tí màmá ẹ̀ ò fi rí pension gbà. Bó ṣe sọ fún bàbá ẹ̀ nìyẹn tí kò rí pension gbà tó fi kú dànù. Ó kú twẹ́. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tí yàn bá ti ń dàgbà, you need a lot of medical support. Ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ wà Nigeria, kọ́nà wà pẹ̀lú yín. When you start getting to 50s, wọ́n máa ní cut down on the red meat, cut down on this, cut down on that. Nǹkan kan ló ṣàmà pààyàn kọ́ lọ́n fún alẹ́ mi gúngún àtàlàfíà. But when you start getting to the 60s, ọmọ bọ́dí ẹ̀ máa sọ fún ẹ pé o kì í ṣọ̀dọ̀ ọmọ o. Tó bá lucky tó ń gbé bọ́dí yẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó dé abuse ẹ̀ púpọ̀ nígbà tó wà lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run jẹ́ síkò. Akérédolú did not want to die. Kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ kú. Ìyẹn ló ṣe lọ gbé Akérédolú lọ sí Germany. Wọ́n lè treat ẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà. Kò ṣe pé àfin àwọn ẹni tó ti kú ìyẹn ń wọ́ṣẹ̀. I met Akérédolú. Tí bá fẹ́ jẹ owó nínú politics Nàìjíríà kò ń ṣe nísìnyí. Mo rí Akérédolú ní as far back as 2017. Ní one-on-one gidi tó ń ṣe pé kíní tí mo lè wà. Ẹgbẹ́ mi náà wá nǹkankan, èmi náà fi wá ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ni mí bọ̀ mo fẹ́ settle sóńdó ẹ bá mi wá nǹkankan, á wá nǹkankan fún mi because á máa wò pé number one intellect mi àti tó wà lórí mi kò ń ṣe tó pọ̀, kò ń ṣe pé mo kàwé tó pọ̀ kan, but for the fact pé mo ti gbé nílùú òyìnbó mo ní headway jẹun tó wà Nàìjíríà lọ because sórí UK tá à ń gbé abroad tá à ń gbé education kan lòun fúnra rẹ̀ 20 years university lèmi wà ní abroad fún 20 years kò ń ṣe university à ń lọ tẹ́yìn fi wá fi owó kà èmi wà nínú system tó ti retrain gbogbo brain wa ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́ṣẹ̀ ń dé kéèsì kan tó gbé wá lánàá family kan kíkọ sọ pé family kan mo ní sọ location Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó gbọmọ mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ látara pé wọ́n fi ọmọ sílé ọmọ dá lọ sí school láàárọ̀ nílùú òyìnbó ẹ̀yin tẹ̀sẹ̀ ń dé, I know you want to go and do that early morning job. I know your husband has gone to night job. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin méjèèjì lẹ́jọ́ ń gbé, mo bẹ̀ yín ni, ẹ wáṣẹ́ mi, ẹ má fọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ ṣeré. Ṣorí gbogbo wàhálà tẹ̀ ń ṣe yẹn, tó bá ti gbọmọ lọ́wọ́ yín, is a complete, kí la fi ń ṣe wàhálà torí ọmọ ni. This is a case tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹlẹ̀ ní week tan sọ yìí. Wọ́n ná ọmọ yẹn dá lọ sí school, ọmọ tó jẹ́ kó dá lọ sí school, ó wá dá lọ sí school wá ń wò pé àá láti bọ́ síbo. Ọ̀hún ọmọ yẹn tó wá lọ 1 hour kó tó di pé school open. Ìlú yìí máa retrain the brain gbogbo wa. So ẹ̀yin tẹ̀sẹ̀ ń dé, ẹ̀yin JJC, take your time. Má kánjú, má farawé àwa tí a ti sacrifice 15 years ni mo fi ń bá wọn fà. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, not 15 days, not 15. I fought the British Home Office for 15 years to be able to get my status. That means for 15 years mo lè dé Nàìjíríà. Ìwọ wá dé, ó wá nítorí ó fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́, ó wá fọmọ sínú ilé. Ọmọ yẹn ó di tìjọba nìyẹn. Au revoir, bye. If a 46-year-old woman, according to Alan Conde, with children, still saying that Nigeria will work, no husband, single ladies, single mothers, kò ń ṣe 40, oríṣiríṣi different reasons, but ní abroad, they will look after you and your children. The Yoruba had a government that was meant to work for them, but that did not happen because the western region was destroyed. Whatever the argument is, we are now talking about kilo te mú ọ̀rọ̀ that system tí àwọn òyìnbó ní ká lọ máa lò. And I'll tell you that there is nothing that is happening. What is Jinodo, brother Mimoke, only Nigeria the graveyard shit. Àwọn ẹlẹ́gbọ̀n watchdogs. Share the program. Àwa ti wà nínú night vigil, àti wà nínú club bá ṣe wà báyìí. Charger wà lórí gbogbo àwọn phones yẹn, iná ló ń jẹ kò jágbàdo, ẹ support àwa náà. Mo kí ẹ Akeem Ayọ̀délé, bẹ́ ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Mo kí yín káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Bí a ṣe phone line at some point, bẹ́ẹ̀ ká ṣe máa bá ètò yẹn lọ. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Má jẹ́ kí ọ̀kan tẹ̀sí ẹ lójú pé torí òun wà labroad. Opportunity ni. Láyé àtijọ́ àwọn èèyàn máa ń wà abroad wá padà sílé ni. Ìdí tí gbogbo ọ̀ṣẹ́ lè padà sílé nísìn torí pé wọ́n ní ilé làbọ̀ sí ní oko. Bí àtàbá ti gba Yorùbá nation ṣá o. So I can tell you that a lot of people are not going to come back home. Yeah, wọ́n lè wá ṣe 1 week, 2 weeks, kọ́ ṣe 3 weeks, kọ́ wá. Àwọn èèyàn ti ń bọ̀ fún ọdún. Mo mọ àwọn tó ti pè mí pé Mr. Koiki mo kàn ní dágbére fún yín, mo ń lọ ṣọdún ní Nàìjíríà o. Ọlọ́run aṣọ yín láṣọ yín padà. Tó bá lucky, tó bá ti sí problem. Kò ń ṣe pé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ní problem, but the family of kí lorúkọ ń kó wa tó kú ní ṣe last year kọ́ ni. Tọ́wálé tí Fúlàní jí gbé láti Maryland, orúkọ ń sapá mi lórí nísìn. Rachel Ọ̀pádélé, and orúkọ wọn sapá mi bí a ti Ọlákúnlé bá rántí. Báwọn náà ṣe lọ́dún náà ni wọ́n dágbére l'Amẹ́ríkà ni. Owólabí, àwọn èèyàn mọ tí mò ń sọ. Gbogbo àwọn tájọ́ ń ṣe program. Tẹ́yìn bá jẹ́ new JJC, ẹ̀yin ṣàfarabalẹ̀ ẹ máa gbọ́ wòtòwòtò tí mò ń sọ, jàgbàjàgbà tí mò ń sọ. A ní meaning. He bought a ticket from Maryland. Just like a lot of people are doing the same thing now. Ẹlòmíì ò dágbére fún wa, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram, ó máa lọ, ó tún máa padà. So I'm gonna cut it out because 1 hour ló máa ń fún wa lórí Instagram. So we go in and come back out again. Mr. Gbenga Owólabí, tí wọ́n ti orúkọ wọn dáadáa nísìnyí, nígbà tí wọ́n ti fún mi ní link orúkọ yẹn. Gbenga Owólabí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tan Instagram yẹn padà. Once again, a very good morning. Mo kí bàbá mi Adéwálé Adéṣọyè. Thank you so much and welcome to the platform. Mr. Gbenga Wolabi. Olakunle ni, when my dad died in 2016, kọ́lọ̀ foríjì gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa tó ti lọ. Bàbá tèmi náà ti lọ ti pẹ́. Ìwọ tẹ̀ mọ́ dádì dáadáa. Àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́ dádì wa dáadáa. Ti lọ láti 1980 T plus. Nigeria owe him over 1 year pension and he retired as a soldier. One old soldier no dey die. Irony, you will die at some point, but what is the benefit? Mo sọ̀rọ̀ nípa a barracks lánàá tí mo travel pass. Mo kàn travel pass it ni. See young British military guys. Màmá pé àwọn eléyìí bí wọ́n wà off duty ni with their cars, their girlfriend, their wives. Àwọn pé àwọn tó ráyé wá lélẹ̀. Alan Condon, a lot of people are sick in their brain in Nigeria. Bad society is what they see as good. Good is what they see as bad. I don't understand what happened to our people. This is when I growing up, things have changed badly. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àìtí kúrò nínú ọ̀rọ̀ the Yoruba engineering system of the Ijebu-Ode city war. We can try to bring some other things around it so that we can have understanding. The reason why you are where you are today is not your fault. Nigeria never prepared for any one of us. Whether you are a diaspora, whether you are a Nigerian, Nigeria failed every single one of us. And it is a deliberate act. And the only thing we can do, okay, enter our Lori Twitter space. Thank you so much for joining. To ask question. Do we still want to be one? And if we want to be one, how is it going to happen? Some people want us to be one, but on what terms and conditions? Is it on the fraudulent constitution? On the way the system is structured? I was looking at the news where they were talking about the local government. You expect the local government to have full autonomy, but they don't have it. When the federal government send allocation to the state collect the local government fund and then look at which one is my own and then disburse bit by bit. So according to the state, federal government, or according to the system right now, your local government will never function to give you the services you need. So yes, Mr. Gbenga Wolabi. So Mr. Gbenga Wolabi, because I was actually changing the Instagram, traveled to Nigeria just like an average Nigerian. Went back home, had a business, wanted to do his own little thing to support himself and his family, because we all see Nigeria as a place that you can make good money. And you can make good money, but you can also lose that money, or you can lose your life. Mr. Gbenga Wolabi lost his life. Not because of anything, it's because there was no security to protect him around his business that is set up, because there was no government. Mr. David Adegoke said, we can't continue to stay with the Fulanis that doesn't have any iota of respect for lives. Mr. Gbenga Wolabi eventually was killed by a Fulani terrorist after ransom was paid. The family were so bitter that the body, with the support of the American government as an American citizen, was returned back to America for a proper burial. So let's go further. Ijebu-Ode city war have been described. It is one of the greatest man-made structures of the ancient world. These researchers added that in terms of the amount of earth and rock that was moved in the constructions of the Ijebu War and the Great Pyramid of Egypt, Ijebu wall was larger than the Great Pyramid. Iyẹ̀pẹ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tó kó papọ̀ tó fi ṣe, and the length, the size. Báwo ló ṣe ṣe? That is something that a ṣe máa lọ ṣe more research lé lórí lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Because you gotta, àwọn àjọ̀nú kọ́ ló ṣe nígbà yẹn. The Yoruba people have been living for thousands of years. We pray that we also get as old as 150 years old, 200 years old. But when we go, that is the reason why we need to be well worried and concerned about who we are. Just Olakunle said, free Nnamdi Kanu now. He hasn't committed any crime. So as much as you are more worried about today, yes, there's nothing wrong in that, but you should also be worried about the future, because Nigeria is just a crime scene. And it remains a crime scene until we come out of it. And in the interest of every Nigerian, that should be the discussion right now, not about election. Which election? The election is never going to give you peace and unity. They also added that the surviving segment of the Ijebu city wall is visible from the space. Láti space. You know the NASA is right there. And when we're located in the space, they can see the earth much more visible. So what they're saying is that láti òkè ọ̀run lọ́hùn, wọ́n lè rí Ìjẹ̀bú wall yẹn. That is how beautiful the structure is. But the Nigeria did not allow it to become visible. It's been overshadowed with forest, probably even almost, I mean, there's still the segment, there's still the, you can still see it, but it's you gotta preserve it. You gotta preserve it for it to continue to flourish. Whatever you don't preserve will damage. If body, this is our body, I am not here, I am not your doctor, I am not your medical practitioner, but maltreat the body. I'm even including myself. Maltreat it. Start treating this body as if you don't care. I am not here to tell you what to eat, what to drink, but maltreat the body and see the end result. That is what they've done to that shithole country. You want to fix a country where it has been maltreated purposely. Iwoluwafe treating Nigeria that is in coma, and we pray it does not come out of the coma until we all go our separate ways. We will still have cordial relationship with our neighbors. There's no doubt about it. Even if Fulanis want to come into our territory, we need to know what type of Fulani, because I don't think the UK will allow a Fulani terrorist to arrive in Heathrow or Gatwick with airpeace. Imagine a Fulani terrorist or a Yoruba terrorist or Igbo terrorist or Ijo terrorist or any terrorist arrive at Gatwick or Heathrow or Stansted or Luton or Manchester or Glasgow airport. Do you think that the UK would allow that? Why do you think they are taking as much of your information? If you're going to apply for American visa, they will take your social media handle. You can write if I'm telling lies. Why do you think they're doing fingerprints? Because fingerprint, you cannot change it. It is only you that is locked with. So we have a society where crime is committed. We cannot do investigation to the crime scene. And you are praying that that country will transform one day in Jesus' name. No, Jesus does not stay with a evil system. Stop telling lies against Jesus. Jesus is not hypocrite. Jesus is not as stupid as your corrupt politicians that are meant to do the needful, but they will rather take it outside, as Akeredolu, may so rest in peace, took advantage and treated himself right in Germany when he could have treated himself in Ondo State if he knew he was even going to die anyway. So stop telling lies against God, whichever the God you believe in. whether the God of the Yoruba land, the God of Islam, or the God of Christianity. Stop telling lies against God, because God knows that crime has been committed. When this young girl known as Tolulokwa Rotile, 24 years old, all she spent on the earth, she could have spent longer time. She was killed by the same system that trained her as the first ever. We've never had one before. First ever, bless you, as the first ever helicopter combat pilot, a car reversed into her. And they want us to buy into that nonsense. When the a friend saw her. So when your friends see you now in America, so you will now take your car, you will reverse and kill them. Is that what you do? So the friends cannot come out of the car and run to say, hey, Tolulope, hey, long time no see. Just as Delegiwa was killed by Babangida, tell me Babangida did not send a letter bomb, bastard, to kill Delegiwa. He will never stand on his feet, but he will be alive. Yoruba will go, Biafra will go. The country will dissolve on all these evil military cabals that have taken advantage during the military era. We thought the military were worst until the Yoruba politicians, the Igbo politicians, the Hausa politicians, and all the corrupt politicians started putting Agbada like Akpabio and the rest of them, all criminals. We thought the looting was big during the military era. When Yoruba and all those corrupt politicians came in 1999, they took advantage like Bola Tinubu did in Lagos State. I will mention his name, just like the others. Criminals. They put Agbada, wear a Awolowo cap and his glasses. They were stealing money that should have been invested to support you. You coming now and be writing your nonsense comments. My mom said just block them off. My stress, bomb bastard all over the place. Arope, during the military, nobody questioned the military. They stole so much that Abacha died. We had an ATM of Abacha up to $5 billion. Let's go back to the real topic. And you might ask me, what is the topic? The topic is still the same. We've been treating it for a week. It will end exactly on Sunday, and then we go to the next topic that we're going to start treating. But if you're not familiar with the topic that we are treating, this topic is path to prosperity. Ọ̀nà láti rí àṣeyọrí ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá is a 95-page that Baba Akintoye, I mean, at 89, this man is still writing. At 89. So he drafted something that we can use to educate you and me on the reasons and the path to prosperity. Because if you are still one of those Nigerians say there is going to be prosperity in Nigeria, it is just a matter of good leadership. We will not have good leader in Tinubu, okay? So I'm starting with Tinubu. So as long as Tinubu is not going to be a good leader, I don't see any other person going to be a good leader, because Tinubu is a weak element. He has nothing to offer. He would enrich himself, is his right. It's part of the national cake. His cronies like Bagudu Atiku, the Minister for Budget and Planning. Go and check it out. He was one of those taking money on behalf of Abacha outside the country. Atiku Bagudu, the current Minister of Budget and Planning, is a criminal. Is a criminal bastard. Olori Buruku. He stole money because Olomba Abacha move Owojade. And today they wear Agbada. And Nigerians run after them. A video was sent to me from Abeokuta. Yoruba politicians with their dirty, filthy foot sharing 5,000 naira. Today, monitor election back in 2027, Yoruba people will go and vote again. They are bastards. Do I pity them sometimes? Yes. Because they don't know what they are doing. May God forgive them. 1.55. I'm not joking. The video was sent to me today. or yesterday rather, because we are now on the 25th. Thank you so much for those of you that are creating the law. They are going to take pensioners' money, 20 trillion. Tinubu and which one is the new minister for road? Where is Rotimi Amechi? Nigeria is a drive. Rotimi Amechi told us that Buhari has nothing to offer. We thought he was joking. Remember that leaked audio? After Buhari left, okay, everybody now understand that Buhari was only there to enjoy his life and bring as many Fulani jihadis, infiltrated every part of Nigeria. The north is hot like fire. Likewise, all other part of Nigeria. So Buhari was somebody that Rotimi Amechi gives us the heads up. Not that Rotimi Amechi is not a criminal himself. They're all criminals. He said it himself that, you know, Nigerians should be stoning them. But Nigeria don't stone them. But go and thief moi moi at Isaleko. You will see those idiots coming out quickly and they will do what they call jungle justice, which I don't accept should be happening. If you commit a crime, allow the justice system to serve you. But do we have one? Binta Yako, the judge, all this criminal bastard judge, in our own constitution, Nnamdi Kanu is now explaining to her in the court that it's in your constitution. There is a treaty between Nigeria and the world. You can't just go and bring somebody in and then want to try the person. Why not try the case before you brought him? Because you don't kidnap people. Okay, you don't agree with Koikimedia, then don't kidnap me from UK to Nigeria. You will go through the legal system and say, we need Koiki back in Nigeria because it's creating problem on behalf of himself to people in Nigeria. And the judge will look at it and say, Koiki, oh yeah, what are you doing? Because they said on 25th of May, according to your time, you were doing some program, you were lambasting Nigeria, and the judge will look at it, and the judge will say, and the judge will say, he's not doing anything wrong. He's doing the same thing that the Scottish people are doing, which is right here. And I'll read it now. But the stupid Nigerians, they are going to be happy because they think that maybe Tinubu, because I don't think Tinubu wants to do that, because Tinubu will still be at least normal than Buhari, because Buhari is an animal. It's not the first time that Buhari has been kidnapping people. He wanted to kidnap Umaru Diko in 1983 or thereabout 84, until British stopped the Nigerian Airways and said, stop that flight. There's something inside we need to see. They don't inject Umaru Diko by the Israeli Mossad. Took Umaru Diko to the airport. But luckily, Umaru Diko's secretary, not that Umaru Diko was a clean man, he was another criminal Fulani or Hausa man, who only God knows which one it be, whether not Fulani or Hausa, because we don't know the difference between any one of them. They've lived together like the Yoruba has so much Omuali, called Fulani. They say, I am Lukman. Which one is Lukman? You are a Fulani bastard. Olusolori Buruku. Moki brother mi, Olawumi Jimo. And welcome once again. So, if the government thinks that I am creating a nuisance, let them go to the court in UK and request my extradition back to Nigeria. That is how it's meant to be. You just don't go to Kenya and kidnap somebody and say, we'll bring him back and we're going to try it because he jumped bail. How did he jump bail if Buhari did not send Operation Python Dance to go and kill him in his house in 2017? But the idiot, gullible bastard Nigerians will be on the social media saying, thank God Nnamdi Kanu, you will spend time there. You will suffer. As long as Nnamdi Kanu is there, you will all suffer under the economy of the APC, the evil government. 9 years in the state, in the operation of Nigeria, just like the evil 16 years of the PDP. They are not, as they are all the same. So, if you're one of those saying, I hope one day they will bring this guy back to Nigeria. Well, they will have to start with my extradition treaty to start with. And like I said, maybe I should just read it. The SNP leaders promises Independence Day for the Scottish people. According to the SNP leader, John Sweeney, has said that he will make the July 4th election an Independence Day ballot for the Scottish people. So if you're one of those praying, your prayer will not be answered anytime soon, because by the time your prayer will be answered, there will be nothing called Nigeria again. How soon is what I don't know. I don't have a date to that. So let's go back to the discussion. The topic tonight. Vinky say, Chief Koiki, don't curse anyone. Remember what you have been told. They are just born bastard. That one will not be too much cost now. Thank you so much, Vinky. And welcome. You might be not YouTube. You know these phones, they are too sensitive. As I was speaking, he was thinking it's a Google voice recognition. He wanted to look for something that I didn't ask him to look for. Thank you so much, Vinky. So what we are discussing is the path to prosperity in our ORILEEDE. Yoruba, we are a nation with a proud roots and a proud history. And what I've been reading with some analysis around it is what Babakitoye, told us to explain to every Yoruba or Nigerians. So let's go further because of the time, even though we have all the time. We are still at the Ijebu War, which is far better according to researchers than the Great Pyramid. Waris Jinadu says, and I quote, like the Honduras president, justice, ex-president locked up for corruption. Now, let's go to our successful economy during that era. Our urban civilization was a product of our successful economy. You will not get any successful economy under the leadership of Tinubu. I've told you Tinubu is a weak element. Alan Conde said Buhari the evil man. If there's another name for evil, we can give it to Buhari. Alan Conde also said China, Japan, Korean, and I'm reading as much of your comment because it's an interactive platform and everybody's commenting from different, this is coming from the Facebook. So when I read this comment, Mukofeki Bugwente and Bowa came up with people are commenting. If you're not someone that loves to comment, you just want to sit down there and listen to the crap according to you and drink your Guinness or whiskey, that's fine. At least you're whiling away your time, and one day the truth will sink in and you will become more angrier than me at some point. So Alan Conde went further. China, Japan, Korea are not using God or Allah. Those of you on this as well, it's going to go off, but we're going to come back in again. To build their country, yet they are living very fine. But in Nigeria, every day fasting and prayer is a religion country, yet we are still living in a hell in Nigeria. China always thinking about future for their generation to come, but we in the Yoruba land only thinking about the backwardness for our other land. We need help. Thank you so much. Keep the comment coming, and we appreciate every single one of you tonight. If I'm here talking to myself without you, it's a waste of time. So when I have you here, it's a bonus for me. So we appreciate you, and we love you all as you continue to spend your hard-earned money and your evening time listening to Koikimedia. Mr. Yinka Ogundele said, no going back, and it's a word that we must stick together. No going back. Mr. Warijinadu said, Ijebu Republic will stand on Yoruba land. Tajuddin and Lowonle Muki brother Muni fake country. Let's go further. Not too sure what that is valiant talk. Maybe that is related to the conversation here or not. Our urban civilization was a product of our successful economy. The starting base of this successful economy was our agriculture. I've talked about the agriculture. Remember, most of us Latvia made 5 point something percent of their economic GDP from agriculture. Nigeria buys the value, I remember that offered about 530 million US dollars worth of wheat from Latvia. Wheat. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni ọmọ London ní Yoruba nation is the most important thing, and that is the only option. You can listen to us on all our platforms. Remember that if one platform is not working for you, you have the right to just check another one. The starting base of this successful economy during that era was our agriculture. Taking advantage of our fertile land. I was having a conversation with a gentleman that says the wife is from Bolivia. How many people know Bolivia? It's South America. It's about 14 hours or thereabout from UK. It's quite a long distance. It's quite expensive to travel as well, about £2,000 for the ticket. And the gentleman has married, he's an Englishman, but married to a Bolivian woman. And they've married for about 13 years. Once of me, their land is very, they can't make any agriculture produce on the land because Bolivia land lock is a different one from like Nigeria or Yoruba land. Moki brother mi Ishola Ademola. Bolivia, South America. But something is said also struck my mind that 75% of the people in Bolivia are well educated up to at least first degree. Most of them also have something doctorate to their, to their specialization. And I now remember that Cuba has the same system when it comes to medical until they had issue with America for a very long time. Ironically, Cuba is also one of those revolutionaries country like that during Fidel Castro. But ní Bolivia, only wọ́n lè gbìn nǹkan púpọ̀ nítorí ilẹ̀ wọn. Mo kí àmì beauty àmọ̀ pé káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń dé láti ibi iṣẹ́ àtẹ̀yìntẹ́ wà ní night duty. Tajudeen Alowonle brother mi sọ pé Yoruba nation is better life in Nigeria. Stop sleeping. Jí má sùn. Let us push the Ekalema. Abẹ̀rẹ̀ káàárọ̀ dẹni. Ẹ bá wa pín ètò ẹ like ẹ̀. Ìyẹn 35 ló dà pọ́n wò wá lórí YouTube. It's not about the numbers, but at least ẹ̀yin 35 yẹn ẹ click lórí thumbs up. It helps the algorithm kò ṣe pé a fi ń gbọ́ owó lórí ẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ wa ilẹ̀ ọlọ́ràá ni. Waris Jinado says Evo Morales of Bolivia fought for the indigenous rights. Àwọn kan ló máa jàjà yẹn, àwọn kan máa fowó jà, ẹ̀yin kan àdúrà ni, àwọn ìyá kan nísìn, àwọn bàbá kan nísìn, a fi àdúrà jagun ni wọ́n. Oh yes, that is why I always say let us be careful, especially to all our other medias when it comes to religion, because people could be like, ṣé ìtorí Yorùbá nation náà lè ṣe wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ sí Christianity àti Islam báyìí. Let us be very careful. Let us be civil. Àwọn òyìnbó ló gbẹ́sìn yẹn wá jágbajàgba. No. You can't change that now. Religion will still be with us until I don't believe that ilé ayé máa parẹ́. That is my belief. Àwọn èèyàn inú ẹ̀ ló máa lọ. People will die, new people will come in. So báyé kan máa parẹ́ yẹn, I don't know about that. But the most important thing, káyé tẹ̀ tó parẹ́, let us secure the future for our people and the next. I pray we will live up to 150 years, 200 years old, but the body, the life, well, depending on again what you believe in, the body will eventually stop at some point, but the life itself might probably travel wherever it is going, I don't know. So during the time our civilization produced a successful economy. And why was that? Because our fertile land. And I'll give you an example. The cocoa house is still an example. Because owó cocoa la fi ra the Nigerian High Commission in London at number 9, Northumberland. It was the money from the soil of Yoruba land that was used to purchase that building, known as the Western Building, until the military took over Nigeria and converted it back. Because what they did was they took everything that was owned by the Yorubas and converted it back to Nigeria. So when you look at the Nigerian High Commission, look at that as one of our buildings. But how did we have money to buy it? It was through the fertile land known as Owo Koko. So if that was happening then, are we saying that the land is no more fertile? No, it is still fertile. But a Yoruba man will tell you, Tabakun Koiki, tomato àti àwọn àlùbọ́sà àti ẹ̀wà tá à ń jẹ níbo láti máa rí nítorí pé àwọn ará north. Well, it's the same thing. Ṣé ibi ìbàlọ́ ti ń gbin ẹ̀wà tí mò ń jẹ ni? Most of it are import into the country. Ó láwọn oúnjẹ tí a lè rà ní even outside tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Africa, but most of the food tá à ń jẹ tó jẹ́ tiwa comes from Africa. Not everything, because ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ dòdò kò ń ṣe láti Nàìjíríà lọ tí ń kó wá o. Ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ dòdò tí à ń jẹ nílùú yìí tó bá rò pé bíbẹ̀ lọ tí ń kó wá ó ti tán rẹ̀. This is what we should be bringing in. So if you are saying tabapin fẹ́yìn tẹ́ máa argue pé kí la máa jẹ, if we have to be doing business with the north, we will do business, but in a civilized way. Not them coming with their truck, loads of people that we don't have any identification. Some of them are pedophiles. I pity Yoruba people tó ń sọ pé kò sí tó kàn wọ́n máa bá àwọn ọmọ yín sùn kéékèèké ládùúgbò if they are not even going to rape them. Ṣé bá ń rí wọn? Ṣé bá ń gbọ́? Because we are having people coming into our environment that we don't know. And that is a danger for us and for our territory. And you can say, Koiki, shut up, well, we saw it happen in Ibadan. Banana is coming from Costa Rica. We saw what happened at Ibadan. I mean, how many people remember what happened at Ibadan? I still have the date, 16th of January, 2024. It was a bomb blast. Don't let anybody tell you it's a bomb blast. Shook the whole of Ibadan. 7 people died according to the government, and multiple numbers of people have forgotten. It might be known there's a washing machine working, so the sound coming, I cannot help it. Well, I might probably just close the little bit safe, but it was a weekend, so and I cannot tell my wife not to do her own thing because I'm doing my own program. So, of course, I am not going to be the one to wash it tomorrow, so they have to start early. Moki Baba mi kunle shita. I hope I'm making sense. Mo ń béèrè pé ṣé ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi ń gbin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi fà mọ́ orin ní ẹjọ́ mẹ́ta ẹ̀. I guess you have been busy. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. I'm asking the question. Ilẹ̀ tí a níyẹn nígbà tí a fi ń ṣe kòkó, ta fi lè ra building sí UK. Do you know that the Arabs are very smart? With their own resources, they keep investing in UK economy, buying almost whatever they can buy. That is how Yoruba people should have been. Oye káwa náà máa move owó wa sí economic country ta fi pé it will be better for us. Because if cocoa money was used to buy that building during that time, what do you think would have happened if we have remained as at that way with the wealth coming from the cocoa? Kódà àti fẹ́ ra ìdajì gbogbo UK tán. Sùúrù àwọn àtàtẹ̀ wa ń dé nísìn àríbidé sí. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's because we have a land that is fruitful. But today, Yoruba people are saying ebi pa wọn, and you wonder how. I mean, nígbà tí wọ́n fowó kòkó fi ra ilé ní UK, not in Africa, the building is still there. Majority of us have seen it, at least. Even if you have your British passport, at some point, you must have visited the Nigerian High Commission. I have I will be going there very soon again, before the end of the year. So the question Taya Kabira wa ni pé, what went wrong along the line? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ṣé ilẹ̀ tí a fi gbin kòkó tá a fi rówó yẹn, ṣé ilẹ̀ yẹn ti expire? Kò lè gbin kankan mọ́. Ilẹ̀ yẹn ò function mọ́. Ó ṣì ń function. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣe ilẹ̀ yẹn. Ilẹ̀ yẹn ṣì ripe. Ó ṣì wà fertile. But àwọn Fúlàní ò jẹ́ ká rí ibi dé sí mọ́. Gbogbo ẹran ìgbẹ́ tó yẹ ká máa jẹ inú igbó, Fúlàní ló ń jẹ nísìn. Wọ́n wá tún pààyàn, wọ́n kidnap àwọn èèyàn. Gbogbo gold wa tó wà ní Ọ̀ṣun, gbogbo epo tó wà ní Ondo, bitumen. But the most important is the human talent tí ọmọ Yorùbá ní. Even if you are not educated, you can be brushed up and you become very useful. Let's go further. I am finishing this particular topic because I am moving to the next topic by next week, and I'll be telling you that topic before the end of the program. Taking advantage of our fertile land, our farmers, àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, raised more and more kinds of crops and produced increasing volumes of food. Why then are we not producing volumes of food again? Ṣé mo pé ẹ ká ní silos? Ta ló mọ̀ tán pè ní silos? We have silos stocked with different food. All these research center, they should start preserving some of the produce, because fọ́jọ́ ọ̀la, and stock it somewhere so that in 1,000 years, tí nǹkan kan bá tẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀, we can bring those things back and say ní 10,000 years ago nǹkan báyìí ló ń gbìn, àdẹ́gbìn padà. But you have to keep it. You have to do a research to see how you can save it, because nobody knows what happened as the future continues. Ó jẹ́ ká ní storage preservation all over Yoruba land. The reason why things get destroyed quickly on the farm is because there is no storage facility. I have been to the farm before at Kobakwe some few years back, before Yoruba Nation started, because I was interested in farming. And I realized that the wastage was just too much. Okay, ẹ̀gbin ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ jáde, ó ti ń ripe mọ́lẹ̀lẹ̀ because of the weather. No storage facilities, no good roads to take it out. Ẹ̀yin orí bọ́ ṣe máa ń di pakí sínú àwọn mọ́tò yẹn, those rusty trucks, and you expect the society to grow. You are living in denial. Tí people náà la máa rí bọ́ ṣe máa ń di pakí sínú àwọn gbẹ́gi lódún mọ́tò tó máa dẹ̀gbẹ́ báyìí. By the time tó bá load ẹ̀ tán, táyà kan máa lọ sókè, ìkan ní balance mọ́. Kò sí títì. The farmers are struggling. There is no support. It is not a mechanized farming. But during that time, it was not even a mechanized farming, but we were doing very well. Let's go, because the Europeans made it known to us with some of the documents. Táwọn bàbá kí tó yẹ ti kà. Pé nígbà tó dé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pé abundant food was everywhere. Tó bá wo left by, kò ń ṣe gbó. It is something. Tẹ́ bá drive lọ sílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́rìn nísìn, inú igbó yẹn ni àwọn Fúlàní já pamọ́ sí. Wá jáde báyìí, wá yìnbọn sí títì. Dírẹ́bà tó bá dúró wá fìbọn fọ́ orí ẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ kó àwọn èèyàn wọnú igbó. Kò dẹ̀ sí emergency pé wọ́n ti já àwọn èèyàn gbé, helicopter máa wá, tó máa send the drone each wave. Ṣé mọ̀ pé látòkè, a drone can monitor the heat of people on the ground. Our operative people there is because they've dragged us backwards. The moment people get kidnapped, you send a drone straight up because they are moving. Even tó bá wà lórí ọ̀kadà, each wave ló kọ́ mọ́ sọ pé ibi tó ń gbà lélẹ̀, òkè ká tẹ̀ sọ pé èèyàn wà tó ṣẹlẹ̀. How can Fulani people be phoning the people they want to collect money from, and the government say we cannot trace the line? The technology will tell you the pointer of where the call is coming from, where it has been initiated from. Àwa la tún máa bá wọn ra MTN in large numbers. Wàá gba owó, wàá gba sìgá, wọn náà máa ń gba mílíkì, wàá gba rẹsì, sometimes ọtún náà máa ń fọ́kadà. And that is the society tó fẹ́ kí mi padà wá gbé. Mò ń bọ̀. Many of them produced food for the urban market and became some of the richest men in the society. There is wealth in farming. It's a lot of work, but there is wealth in it. That is what Mr. Gbenga Wolabi wanted to come and do from Maryland. He had a farm. He had a small hotel. He employed a student that was meant to be at the university as at that time, but because Buhari shut down the university for 1 year, Rachel Okpadele also lost her life with Mr. Gbenga Wolabi +1, making 3 people. Ẹni tó gbówó lọ nìkan ló escape. The money was received by the Fulani terrorists, but 3 innocent Yoruba people were killed, murdered. But it's not your family now. Eh? But remember that Mr. Gbenga Owolabi kọ́nà fọ́ọ̀mù kẹ́wọ̀n. Wọ́n níyàwó, wọ́n lọ́mọ. And that is it. And life got shut up. Ìwọ wá ń pe Jésù pé kí Jésù ràn Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́. How? Ó fi pé Jésù stupid ni. Ànábì ò stupid, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Kò stupid. Ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa stupid. They can feel that the energy that Nigeria has done on many lives, it is time for payback. And whether you believe in prophecy or not, that is what I said. It is not going to be reversible. So that is why the prayers is no longer working until the country will dissolve. And it will, because we are not going to stop doing what we are doing. You could get angrier every day. That is your own cup of tea. My job is to educate you on the reason why Nigeria must dissolve. Let's go and do election. Which election? The election where they steal ballot box. I hope they will start stealing ballot box on the July 4. I will wait to see what happened here in July 4. I'll show you. I'll be waiting for all the thugs without mentioning their name. Not that we're scared of them. In Lagos, we saw it. In the east, we saw it. In the north, oh my God, those ones, they were doing double voting. One person, they don't print for multiple. But it is not new, because the British rigged the first election anyway. So what is new about rigging an election? Hey, Koiki, yeah, Yoruba, they support Tinubu, you rig election. It's not the first time. British rigged it the first time. British rigged the first election in 1959 to favor the North. So Tinubu rigging the election is not new thing. Rig election. Election was rigged. They never allowed MK Abiola to become the president. So you with your PVC, without your PVC, it will not make any difference. And when Tinubu completes his tenure, the power goes back to the North, and the Yoruba people will start understanding more of what we are saying. Because for them, they feel like, Tinubu will give us restructure, regional government, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Tinubu is a weak element. Benny, Koiki comes to his indigenous Yoruba first. And that is why you can see, this is from the Yoruba Omoluabi apparel, Asha. It is who we are. You can always get a copy of this kind of outfit from Omoluabi apparel. Remember the Oromio 10. Next week is the end of the month. It is all our responsibility to put that 10 in wherever part of the world you are. Koiki, me not if it's sanwó mo mọ̀nà tí máa fi sọ. Reach out to me. It is not my private account you are paying that into. There is account in America, but most importantly, if you are abroad, because Nigeria bank is not allowing people to use their card to make the payment on the ysdm.org donation subscription. But if you are outside Nigeria, you should not have any problem to do that. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ ṣe, ẹ contact family yín tó lè bá yín ṣe. But if you're in Nigeria, there is an account that you can make that payment. It is only 10 naira. Don't tell me only 10 naira. As long as you are buying data to watch me right now, you should have a spare 10 naira to pay your own debt, because this is not like a debt to us. I will be making my payment as well before next week, because I've not done mine. It's a commitment. It is just 10 pounds. It's a lot of money. I mean, it's about almost an hour job. I've done 2 hours now. I would have been paid equivalent of 24 pounds in UK money. Average salary is £11.44p. So my 2 hours sitting here, if I've worked at the NHS as a cleaner, the basic job, I will be paid 24 pounds. But I know that what I'm doing today will reflect the future for us all. So that is why it is voluntary that I'm doing. So if you just support us, it's just to say thank you, that's all. So remember your debt to be paid next week. 10 naira, for Nigeria. Whether you agree with Yoruba Nation, just put it there. If you call Yoruba, I'm sorry, just put it there. Many of you contribute to things that I would just say is worth it for you. And we do it a lot. Àìmọye àwọn tẹ́ ti sanwó fún tẹ́ẹ̀tẹ́ mọ̀rí. Àǹtí ẹ ṣàánú mi, ọmọ mi send account number. Send 10,000, 5,000. Send $10, $50. So why is it difficult for you to pay $10, €10, 10 Canadian, 10 China money, 10 Russia money, 10 Senegal money, Benin Republic money, and 10 naira? 10 naira in Nigeria. We need about 1 million people to subscribe to the YSDM. It will make huge impact in this movement if truly we are ready to go. So I am asking us to try not to say that we are not going to make that payment. Just as you do. I am not using your religion, but I'm saying that most of us have given something that, we just say, when you pay me now ní ọ̀bọ̀ mo kọ̀ wò pé n tó gbé wá bá mi ó dà pé ó fi lè díẹ̀ bọ̀ mo lè fún ẹ ní gbogbo owó yẹn bọ̀ máa fún ẹ ní díẹ̀, and you don't look back and ask kí ló fowó yẹn ṣe. So let us make it. You can make your own one-off payment of $120, or $120 for the year. Kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ san lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní a little bit of money, just make that payment off. Hello, sorry, YSDM, as in S for sugar, not X-ray. Y for yam, issue, Yankee. D for Delta, M for mother, .org, not .com. You go in that website, very straightforward. Then you just go to the donation, website here. Click on the subscription. A receipt will also be issued to you every month. I plead, let us make those payments. It is for us and the future of the Yoruba people. As we sọ̀rọ̀ nípa the prosperity to the path, we are now at this most important part, which is talking about kí ló dé tẹ́bí ń pa wá lénìí. The reason is not because of anything more than the fact that there's a reason that they just don't want Yoruba people to grow the food that they will eat anymore. Tàbá febi pa wọ́n, will come back to their sense. And that's why the North, remember, told us that they're not going to bring any food to the Southwest. Moki Yoruba Nation now. You want to gbóúnjẹ wá sínú Southwest. Eventually, àwọn náà lọ tún gbé wá fúnra wọn. We cannot even ascertain the method of the growth of those food tó ń gbé wá. Ẹ̀wà ni, iṣu ni, kí la mọ̀ tó fi ń gbìn. Intentionally bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, deliberately. Ẹ tí rí ibi tí màálù tó ń bá sùn. Ó wà lórí fóònù mi eléyìí. Kò ṣeé fi wọn ní. Mo ṣeré o. Ó ń gèdè fún màálù gidi ni. Mad people àwọn èèyàn yìí. Ọlọ́run kò ṣàánú gbogbo tá à ń jẹ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́nìí. Taking advantage of our fertile land, our farmers raised more and more kinds of crops and produced increasing volumes of food. Many of them produced food for the urban market and became some of the richest men in the society. One of the first European explorers into the interior of the Yoruba homeland ní 1825. Pé àwọn òyìnbó tó dé, àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun tó dé ní 1825/1826. Kò síbi tó ń pè ní Nàìjíríà nígbà yẹn. Wrote ó wà nínú ìwé tó kọ sí ẹ̀mọ̀ pé àwọn máa ń kọ note diary. Wọ́n wá rí note tó sọ pé throughout their journey ní gbogbo ìrìn tó ń rìn nígbà tó délẹ̀ Yorùbá, they saw on the both side of the path ní ọ̀nà tí gbà yẹn tó sí Fúlàní tó ń pààyàn tó ń jíyàn gbé, extensive plantations of yam, corn, cotton. Majority wọ́n lè wọṣọ tuntun mọ́ lẹ́ni. Cotton lọ fi ń ṣe gbogbo táwọn yìí. 100% tó bá ń gbọ́ 100% cotton. Àwa dẹni tí àwọn ọmọ Igbo lọ kó òkìrìkà wá. Gbogbo tó ti wọ̀ nílùú òyìnbó. Àwa kó padà wá sísàlẹ̀. Àwa ń bẹ́ndẹ̀ à ń píkẹ̀. Àwa ń píkẹ̀ à ń bẹ́ndẹ̀. Títí kan bra àti pátá. Títí kan boxers, singlet. This one am you na original. Fake gan ni o, a ní na original. Ibi tó yẹ kí industry kó máa boom ní gbogbo gbèríko tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kọ́ máa ní kí ló ṣe wá ká sọ pé a busy ni ká máa supply gbogbo àgbáyé. Kọ́ máa request fún aṣọ tó fẹ́ wọ̀ as school uniform ní UK. Ṣé a mọ̀ pé uniform táwọn ọmọ wa ń wọ̀ nílùú Èkó ń ṣọ̀fẹ́ a máa rà ní. Lóòótọ́ school ọ̀fẹ́ ni. Ìyàwó mi gbogbo àwọn sọ pé eléyìí tó máa ń sọ pé school ọ̀fẹ́ nílùú yìí máa sọ fún wọn pé à ń sanwó bàtà, à ń sanwó aṣọ, à dẹ̀ ń sanwó báàgì fáwọn ọmọ wa bìkọ́ ìjọba ń fúnyàn nìyẹn. Àwọn tó yẹ ká wá máa ṣe gbogbo kinní yẹn ká máa supply ẹ̀ síta. Ó wá sọ pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣiṣẹ́. Ó wá ní Nàìjíríà máa ṣiṣẹ́. Ṣé Nàìjíríà produce nǹkan kan in 63 years? Ìlú òfò, ìlú àdánù. Gbogbo tẹ́ ń jẹ tẹ́ ń lò pátá wọ́n import ẹ̀ wá. Ó wá ń gbàdúrà fún Jésù àtànábì pé kí dọ́là má lọ sí 2000 naira. Ó wá ń blame Koiki. Ṣé èmi ní economy Nàìjíríà? Ṣé mi mo ní gbogbo owó tí wọ́n pa láti 1963 àbí 1960 títí di wákàtí? Ṣé mi mo ní kọ́ máa invest ẹ̀ padà sínú country? Ní làákàyè. I am not the problem. I am only finding a solution to the problem. Mo mọ̀ pé òtítọ́ ó korò. Torí tó bá ti gbọ́ nísìn tó bá tún lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn pàdé ẹ̀ tẹ́tí fagbó. Ìtàláyé yẹn sọ̀rí ọ̀pọ̀ irọ́ ló pa. But àwọn òyìnbó jẹ́ kó yé wa ní 1825 nígbà tó dé pé iṣu lọ́gbìn lọ rẹpẹtẹ báyìí. Àgbàdo lọ́gbìn lọ báyìí. Cotton lọ́gbìn lọ báyìí. All those things mo kí Mr. Jimoh Rasaq wọ́n ní pant and bra use one indeed nonsense. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni mo kí Mr. Fatai Mọ́tájọ́, mo kí ìyá mi Dúpẹ́ Agboola wọ́n ní Yorùbá nation ní solution. A ti gbìyànjú Nàìjíríà kò ṣe pé we tried. every one of us àtiwọ́ tó ń wò mí àtèmi àtàwọn family wa tó ti kú àtàwọn tó wà láyé àwa ṣe realize pé wọ́n design Nigeria kò work bí àṣà brother mi kan á ní Koiki wọ́n gbé Nigeria 25-story building or 36 ó wá gbélé orí bungalow ó wá ní kó má collapse. Mo kí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí grandma mama dáadáa ìyá mi dúpọ̀ agbọ́lá tí mo fi tẹlẹ́dùmarè dárúkọ. Wọ́n ní I don't know what kind of business that country is running because they have crude oil free from the ground selling it using money for nothing nobody benefit from it. Àjèrè crude oil yẹn rí ọ̀pá Abacha ní kó lọ pa Kensaro Wiwa ìyàwó ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó bẹ Abacha dà lọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ gbọ́ mi yé Abacha ìjọra àwọn shell àwọn olórí burúkú àwọn organization àdánù àgbákò tó ní jèrè kí ni Kensaro Wiwa ṣe ní kẹ́ máa wọ epo nílẹ̀ wa àmọ́ epo tẹ̀ ń wá yẹ ti fi dá méjì àwọn ṣé fishing làwọn máa ń ṣe ládùúgbò tí wọ́n lọ́hùn àwa náà ní Lóńdó wọ́n ní omi tó wà Lóńdó ó lè ṣe mọ̀ pé gbogbo ẹja tẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà island lọ ti ń kó wa kò ń ṣe pọ́ sọ fún mi a ti ṣe research lé lórí ni wọ́n á ṣe package ẹja wọ́n á wá fi sínú freezer container tó ń gbé wá àwọn ship ńláńlá yẹn wọ́n ti freezer ni àwa kò dé ó yá ẹja àkótè lélẹ̀ ẹja díìsì lélẹ̀ àwọn kẹjà wa àwa ń lómi Lóńdó state tá a bá tẹ̀ wá lómi ṣe bá a máa rà lọ́wọ́ àwọn Niger Delta àwọn lómi tó dáa wọ́n wá di àwọn ṣẹ́ wá di ṣèbí Buhari olórí burúkú ó ní wọ́n máa clean up o àwọn olóṣèlú ẹ̀ ní ṣoríire bomb bastard evil people wọ́n bayé jẹ́ wọ́n bọ̀nà jẹ́ kápátẹ̀ sọ pé a fẹ́ máa gbé nínú Nàìjíríà ṣé bó ṣe jẹ́ ká wà nìyẹn. Kensaro Wiwa was murdered ṣé wọ́n bọ́ ṣe pa ṣé wọ́n mọ̀ pé Abacha request pé òun gbọ́dọ̀ rí video evidence bó ṣe pa Kensaro Wiwa wọ́n angle tí àwọn fi jáde láwọn ẹ̀ ìwọ máa ń ṣe sọ pé kọ́lọ́n foríjì Nàìjíríà ṣé Ọlọ́run máa foríjì Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú àwọn okú bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Mo lọ sí rally kan ní ìlú yìí bí a protest náà la máa pè àwọn òyìnbó gidi nígbà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ Kensaro Wiwa mo wá wò pé àwọn eléyìí ò gbé Nàìjíríà ẹ wo bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Kensaro Wiwa àwọn environmentalist làwọn yẹn àwọn yẹn máa ń bá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wọ́n máa ń pè wọ́n ní just kinní kan oil ẹ máa rí wọn wọ́n máa ń da orange kinní kan káàkiri báyìí kò síbi tó kì í distract ẹ ní wọn àpá wà láàrin yín tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ event ẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n á kọ́ change aṣọ ni wọ́n á da gbogbo orange oil àbí kinní kan wọ́n dà Greenpeace mo lọ sí rally wọn kan ní some years back tẹ́ bá rí bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Kensaro Wiwa pé evil country ó pàdánù òun nìyá mi dúpẹ́ gbọ́ láǹsọ̀ ok o fẹ́ kíìpù Nàìjíríà èrè wo ló jẹ látara resources Nàìjíríà mo ní gold tó ń kúrò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá evidence ẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ mi gold bó ṣe gbó gold CBN ló máa fi ń gbé wá sí airport ìlú tó ń lọ mọ̀ ní sọ fún yín máa ní dey play no problem ẹnu ní gbogbo àjọ wa but etí mọ̀ kàn ní pé àwa kan àní mẹ́nu kúrò nínú ẹ̀ a máa ṣe ọkàn yín kúrò lára ẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé ó difficult torí ẹ̀ fi gbọ́ àwa náà dẹ̀ nígbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fi gbọ́ yẹn àwa náà nígbà ìwọ fine girl ìwọ fine handsome man ìwọ lọ sí Ìyànàpájà you know like these chinos tó ti wọ̀ ní ọlọ́lọ́mọ ẹni tó ti wọ̀ ọlọ́run ọ̀rọ̀ àǹjọ̀nù tó ń ba lò kó tó kó dé Nàìjíríà òun ń rà yẹn òun lọ fi starch sí òun náà mi student ṣe bí student ṣe ń gbé ayé ní Amẹ́ríkà nìyẹn ṣé student máa ń ra bọ́bá tẹ̀ máa ra second hand ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram we're going off again ẹ mọ̀ pé 1 hour ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kò ń pẹ́ bí wọ́n bá ti jókòó báyìí 2 hours láti ṣe 2 hours already so a máa lọ à ń padà bọ̀. I pity a lot of you that continue to say ẹ fi gbọ́. We're almost there. Like I said, ọrùn ò tí kùn mí tí bá fi pòun yẹn ti fẹ́ máa dé ìwọ lè lọ sùn yẹn èyí lè lọ sùn èmi ò níbi tèmi ń lọ wọn kúkú lọ wọṣẹ́ láàárọ̀ ọ̀la mo dẹ̀ ti sùn díẹ̀ so tẹ́yìn bá fi ipò ti sùn yín ẹni right láti bọ́lẹ̀ bọ̀ yín kọ́lẹ́ máa sọ fún wa ká pa program èmi ni máa sọ pé mo máa pa program lásìkò tó bá tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn ẹ̀yin lẹ́ máa lọ sùn tóun bá ń kún yín àwa sì wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká gbóhùn sókè lẹ́ǹkan sí mo kí brother mi easy àti wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ báyìí mo kí gbọ́n tẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn Europeans tó dé ní 1825 wọ́n ní látara tí wọ́n kọ sílẹ̀ ní evidence wọ́n náà rí pé plantation of yam, corn, cotton, indigo, oil palm trees, coconut trees, àgbọn tó bá mọ tó ń fi àgbọn ṣe àgbọn wọ́n ní ọ̀nà tí omi fi ń wọnú àgbọn ẹ̀dá kan lè mọ̀ máa wá kiri ọ̀nà tá a máa fi kúrò ní Nàìjíríà máa wá náà ni kẹ́ tó mọ̀ Yorùbá ti máa lọ. Mo kí ìyàwó Tọ́pẹ́ Williams. The Yoruba people were very industrious people. Ọmọ tó ń pè ní industry ó dàbí òyìnbó ńlá ni but ntọ́mì ni pé our very potential people a máa ń try láti fẹ́ expand kò ń ṣe pé púpọ̀ nínú yín tẹ́ ń ṣe mẹkáníìkì tẹ́ ń lọ́ta ó yẹ kẹ́ ti expand bàbá ló ti fẹ́ expand orí lónìí gbà ní gbogbo àwọn ṣàkóṣàkó lónìí ó ní sísítà mi kan náà tó send message sí mi ọ̀nà ó yá lónìí àwọn lónìí sọnù tó máa ń yá yín Nàìjíríà yẹn wicked country ó dẹ̀ náà ti sọnù ẹ̀ padà send message yẹn sí mi mo tẹ̀ tí àwọn yẹn ó tẹ̀ tí send message pé ẹ bá mi pè wọ́n ní Mr. Koiki ẹ wá mọ̀ tó ṣe wọ́n wá mú picture ẹ̀ wọ́n wá kọ oríṣiríṣi sí wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í send ẹ̀ káàkiri ẹ bèrè pé ló jẹ ìlú yẹn gbogbo owó tó ní òun jẹ gbà tí mo rí receipt mo it's just about 6,500 it's not like a big money ẹ mọ̀ pé 100 lo picture kan wọ́n wá lo ìsàlẹ̀ ọkùnrin tó ti gé wọ́n dẹ̀ gbèsè lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sẹ́ndẹ̀ wọ́n frustrate ta ló máa lọ sọ fún gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wo ló fẹ́ lọ bá no system nothing is seem to be working ta ló fẹ́ lọ complain fún ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì róhun kó tó di pé lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ní sharp loan wọ́n wà nílùú iná tẹ́lẹ̀ gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì dé pẹ̀lú wọn ni. You must have compliance. Compliance, you must have the system to support those at the lower power because yanja on your nílùú iná and people will take advantage and ṣẹ̀rí àwọn tí yàrá ń jẹ yẹn àwọn kan máa ń fẹ́ take advantage àwọn shark loan mo mọ̀ wọ́n wà káàkiri nílùú yìí especially ní gbogbo ọ̀nà outside London no structure in Nigeria. These explorers, àwọn òyìnbó ló ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, added that the approach to many Yoruba towns was an imposing avenue of a loudly trees, green, the Yoruba cities and towns were very clean habitations that people who usually rushed out in the Yoruba cities and towns and villages to see the white explorers were always cleanly dressed. Ní 1825 wọ́n náà àwọn tó bá yọjú sáwọn òyìnbó pé ẹ mọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa níjọ́ náà lọ pé irú àwọn ilé ìkẹ́ àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun níbo làwọn ilé ti wá wọ́n welcome wọn wọ́n ní bọ̀ táwọn òyìnbó yẹn náà bá wá rí wọn wọ́n rí wọn ní rírí ìsọnù. You'll be looking at some of our people today, like I keep saying, you look sick, but it's not your fault. is Nigeria. Most of you wíwò tẹ máa ń wò yẹn tẹ máa ń wò papọ̀ ojú yín ti wọnú gbogbo ẹ̀. Mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń wò mí látàjà gbogbo bí tẹ́ ti ń wò mí ojú yín ti wọnú gbogbo ẹ̀. Àjọ lọ sí school ni ó ṣe wá dàbí bàbá àgbàlagbà báyìí, ó ṣe wá ti darúgbó báyìí. Kò ń ṣe fọ́ọ̀tì Nàìjíríà ni. Nàìjíríà ló jẹ́ kẹ́ máa wò pàòpàò. Wọ́n ní nígbà táwọn èèyàn bá wá jáde wá rí àwọn òyìnbó yẹn ni wọ́n rí wọn ní rí, they were very clean people, and that the Yoruba people were an exceptionally hospitable people. Ó ní sister wa kan brand new car BMA la fi lọ ń pín flyer nílùú yìí ní about 2 years ago lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Mo wà nínú mọ́tò yẹn ni kò ṣe pọ́ sọ fún mi, brand new. Ó gbé mọ́tò ẹ̀ lẹ̀, àwa ń lọ sí Dustin lọ káàkiri. Kí la lọ ń ṣe? Àná educate àwọn èèyàn nípa Yorùbá Nation pẹ̀lú BMW. That is how hospitable we are. Even pẹ̀lú àwọn kan tó tún máa ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan mi tó máa dùn wá lọ́kàn, tó bá tún pẹ̀lú mi a tún ṣe fún ẹni yẹn, a tún ṣe fẹ́ lòmí. Kò ní wo pé ẹni tó ń ṣoore fún ó ṣèkà fún òun. That is what we are. In tó wà nù jíìnì wa nìyẹn, bí Elédùmarè ṣe dá wa nìyẹn. Nàìjíríà ló kọ́ sọ wá di àwọn kan ní Koiki ṣe bí látara ẹ̀ náà la fi ní problem bá. Our hospitality. We are mo kí Mr. Yakubu, ẹ ṣé Mr. Fatai Mutaji, Jimoh Razak, a very wicked set of people. Nigeria has nothing to offer. Mo kí wọ́n tẹ́ ń wò mí lọ́dọ̀ àlùkà àti brother mi Taiwo Ìmọ́lẹ̀. Mo kí ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí ètò live pẹ̀lú mi. We are 2 hours into the program. We probably run maybe another 1 hour, then we'll call it at least kókó fi pé 3 hours. Hospitality wa náà ló wá fi wá jìyà báyìí nísìn. We love people. Àgbà wọn mọ́ra. Ó yá ẹlòmíràn ẹ máa lo bẹ̀yẹn náà. People àwọn èèyàn tá ní kọ́ máa lo bẹ̀yẹn náà. They are now claiming the territory. People that we just gave land. Ó yá ẹ máa lò for now. Our team need it. Because wọ́n ti wá di generation bíi mẹ́rin. Wọ́n wá ní àwọn làwọn nílẹ̀. But wọ́n wá ní but bàbá yín kọ́ ló nílẹ̀ yìí. Aya yín ni. Ẹ̀yin Fúlàní olóṣì yìí. Good morning, Dr. Avis Abolade. We borrowed you the land. How did the land become yours? This land are not yours. There's a case like that came up. I think Yoruba we did a program on it. That the Fulani are claiming that they own the place. And they say, no, you can't own the place. You came from the north. How can you own Yoruba territory? It's not possible. Yes, you can buy the land. I mean, you can buy the land to build on it. The Igbos don't own any part of Yoruba land. Yes, they can buy the land, but they don't own the territory. The territory belongs to us, our land. No, come and say you own the UK land. You are only buying the mortgage. You don't own the land. The land belongs to the monarchy. And land is meant to be that is what is creating the problem around the world today. Ilẹ̀ àtọ̀mí and the resources. Don't fajani, yeah. That is why they are killing themselves all over the world. 38,000 people have died in Palestine. 83,000 people are injured. Ilẹ̀ is because of the land. Ilẹ̀ yẹn làwọn wá fi ń ṣe. Koiki, don't worry. You are stressing. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. No, let us be worried now. Because the moment you don't have access to the land anymore, that is the end of your ìran. Ìran yìí ti parẹ́ nìyẹn pátápátá. They want to take our waterways. The only thing that can give us a better future. Our towns were also vibrant centers. Did you hear that? Only 18, this is 1825. The Yoruba towns were vibrant. Not that they're not vibrant. Probably go to Lagos now, you know, at 2 o'clock. Yeah, there's still some activities. Go to Ekiti right now at 2 o'clock. Well, some few places will be vibrant, but go to that your rural area, pure rural area, you will see that it's dead. Nothing is happening. No life after 9 o'clock. Dead. But do you know that we will get to there where we were told that there were night market or jale that start from 9 p.m. till late hours. And even though as at that time, but it brights up the whole place. I will read up to there. Let's push a little bit because of the time. Our towns were also vibrant centers of trade, craftsmanship, art, music, and any other indigenous people or tribes or whatever you call them. They will always make use of a Yoruba music because that is what is going to sell the music. If they don't add Yoruba music to their music, it is not selling. Take it to anywhere that I said so. I don't care whoever the artist is, whether it's from the Hausa, Igbo, wherever they come from, even the Western people, they are adding Yoruba into their music. Because the vibrance of the Yoruba language added into the talent that they have, it sells like hot cake. That is why they will make sure that they add Yoruba into their music, their lyrics. And God bless all our massive artists that have died. The Olatunji Yusuf, the Orlandos, and those that are still with us, the Ebenezer Obey, Sonny Ade, and the new generation like Davido, Wizkid. That is the beauty of what we need to preserve. That beauty is now what you are saying. Koiki, don't worry, let's just abandon everything. Let's save Nigeria. Nigeria is not there in 1825 when our towns were vibrant. It is because Nigeria is there now, our town is no longer vibrant. Why should it be Lagos alone that should be booming and, making more money when we have other Yoruba cities and towns that can also have the same opportunity? These are all deliberately. No, enough is enough. And this is the reason where you must also be part of the movement. I see a lot of the diaspora that are probably less concerned about this self-determination. Just get involved in your own little capacity. It's for the interest of every one of us. At least our children will have the option to decide whether they want to remain in UK or they would love to travel back to Yoruba land. That option will be there. It's a bonus for them. Then they will be known as British Yoruba as against Anthony Joshua, British Nigeria. But when they commit crime, it's in Nigeria. The British side, they leave it away. Our towns were also vibrant centers of trade, craftsmanship. If you need a copy of what I'm reading, just go on my website, Koikimedia. We've shared it also as a PDF to most of the WhatsApp groups. So at some point you must have seen it. It is worth having to read. We are still treating number 1. It is up to 95 page. The next one starts from next week again. I'll tell you before the end of the program what topic that is going to be. Our towns were also vibrant centers of trade, craftsmanship, art, music, producers of cotton goods, especially various kinds of cloth, cotton yarn, smith producing various kinds of metal tools and implements producers of jewelries, including beads, various kinds of entertainment, and entertainers. We have always been entertainers. I've told you, if I want to be a content creator, I know what I'll be talking about. And it would draft traffic, but I would not be talking about Yoruba Nation. So talking about Yoruba Nation is just to make sure that that is what I remain focused on. And kudos to all the content creators like Macaroni and many of them that are not even Yorubas. But we hope that everyone will remember that Nigeria is not going to be ripe enough for every one of us, because that identity is the most important that we gotta push first. Diviners, Haba healthcare providers. If you go on my page, there is a video I posted yesterday and it's on Koikimedia. Go to the short. You know there's a short video you can watch that is 15 seconds. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm going on my channel now. Go on Koikimedia later and go to short. There was a no, sorry, it will not be on that one. Apologies. I'm going to share that link. It will be on a backup page that I'm using, that I want it to be much more of, not just for Yoruba, for everybody. I'll share the link out in a minute. It's OLAYOMI KOIKI YouTube channel. We're still building it, not enough people are following that, but there's something I want to derive from it, and I'm going to share the link with us now. Subscribe. I want to push it to at least 1,000 followers at the moment. Desmond Chooks, thank you so much. Proud to have you on the platform. All hail our Biafra brothers and sisters. We love you. We love what you guys are doing, and we appreciate your government in exile under the leadership of Simon Ekpa and as many other indigenous people that wants to live. So that is the link I've just sent in the platform. We will appreciate if you can just click on it. I'm going to share it on my X as well for those of you that are listening. Help me to just follow it. I will appreciate if you can do so. Let me see if I can post. I don't know whether I'm allowed to post on Facebook now, because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I think. Yeah. So the link has been shared on all the platforms. I will appreciate. Mr. Yinka Ogundele, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Hey, Joibami, follow page here. There is something I'm going to talk about that has to do with health. Like Abba, I saw the shop somewhere around one of my outing about a few days ago. And it is quite interesting to see that that business has been there since 17 something. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm just sharing the link out. Those of you on Instagram, the page is called OLAYOMI KOIKI. You will see me like with the British flag. I talk about my 24 years in UK. That is what the channel is all about. So whatever you see from there will be much of English because of my audience target. So it is called OLAYOMI KOIKI, and it is known as Koikimedia TV. At the moment, I have 872 subscribers. I will appreciate if many of you help us to push it. Moki Grandma Leah Jayakabo Soretoma, Moki Buwen Yamiti and Darapomowa. So, in Yelemati short here. So, the short, and I'm going to also share the link of the short. I mean, I am not advertising because, let me know this. I don't know the owner of the organization, but it is called Organic Health Store, and I'll tell you how long they've been established. It was established in 1971. It's called Helen Organic Health Store. The reason why I'm talking about this is I am linked, and I'm going to share the link of this particular again. I'll put it on my community on the backup channel, and as many of you that are following us, click on this particular link. You will then also help me to subscribe to it as well. Mobewani. Like I said, it is going to help us because the audience target, I want them to know about Yoruba Nation, but if I'm talking just Yoruba on it, I will not get their inside. More people are watching the channel right now, but they are not subscribing, but at least is gaining the traffic that I need from the short videos I'm doing on that page, which is good for me because I want to lọ síbẹ̀ is from all over the world, and they will want to know more about me. So what they will be doing is they'll be finding a little bit research about me because they want to know who owns the channel. And from there, they'll be looking at what is he talking about? Yoruba people, who are Yoruba? That is creating awareness, okay? That is another way I am doing my own awareness, apart from Eleta and Shini or Ibi by me all the time. So the link is being shared again. I've pinned it on the Facebook. Please, all you can just do now is also follow it. This particular link I'm sending out. Oh, somebody wants to give me money. I love that. Shenera, and you can send because maybe that one is easy. If you want my PayPal, you can send through musakalam1@yahoo.com. And if it's the account for the YSDM, it's not this one, so I don't know. It is my own first bank account. It's 30 96 80 88 48. Olayomi Koiki. 30 96 88 80 88 48. I'll probably post that in a minute. But let me quickly get this one out. And I'll talk about reason why we are talking about the herbs is because I just picked it up that Babaki Toye told us that when the European came in 1825, we already had herbal healthcare providers. We can call them àwọn oníṣègùn, but àwọn kìíní ìṣiṣẹ́ fún wa. But today, most of us doesn't even believe in it anymore. But all the ones that these big GlaxoSmith and all these big pharmaceutical companies are using, they are also using our herbal remedies. The Chinese don't joke with it. The Chinese has a lot of teas that does a lot of detox. And it is important that we do detox. I am not your healthcare provider. I am just saying that it is sometimes because we take a lot of things that we impute. And I said it earlier, this body, if you don't take care of it, you abuse it, it will pay back. Nigeria has been abused and it is not going to work anymore. Nigeria is already in coma. No doctor can revive it. The only thing we need to do now is to remove the plug finally, because what they've done is they is on coma and they put generator to keep it alive. I am looking for where the wire of that cable that is keeping that coma, because I want to unplug it. And the only way I can do that is to educate me and you. So if I am talking about healthcare provider, and again the link, find here and follow that page. The link I've sent 2 links on my channel right now. Just click on it and then come back on the platform and make sure you follow it as well. I'll be sharing my account details in a minute. It's voluntary. I always say that media needs support continuously. If you don't pay your TV license in UK, you could go to jail, and it's about £160. So now let's go back to that herbal company. It's called Helen Organic Store. It was established in 1971. That is a long time ago. Now, Kilowadeti, as at 1826/1825, the explorer, the European explorer, àwọn òyìnbó aláwọ̀ funfun, wọ́n ní nígbà tó dé, again, our towns were vibrant. They were not just vibrant, we had diviners, àwọn tó máa ń wo nǹkan, tó ń pè ní diviners, àwọn tó máa ń woṣẹ́. Enter our new Instagram, again, 1 hour is clocked here. It's going to call and come back. Thank you so much once again. We are just about 26 minutes to the end of the program. We keep it at 3 hours, even though I said I could go longer, but let's just leave it at 3 hours. Even if I'm not sleeping, I could be on Netflix watching something and take my mind away for some time. I love to watch movie. I want a bomb movie. That's the one I love watching. And I always find one to watch, even if it's old. I love it. So I'm going to be probably going on the Netflix. And if I find anything, you now always come back and share what movie I'm watching. Tabade Anthony Koiki, maybe you should go and watch this movie, but it has to be the one that they shoot guns, like the America, the military movies. Those are the kind of movies I love. because I got inspired with those kind of movies. So you can see where I linked the ABBA company that I just talked about. We were providers and many others. But today, we cannot even provide the basic things of life for our people. The basic. Do you know why? Because Nigeria took us backwards. It's a country. We have doctors around the world. We have doctors in Nigeria that are doing very well, but they are not supported because the system has collapsed. That is why, like I said, Akeredolu himself traveled out of Nigeria to seek medical support, just like President Tinubu has done as well. Lenkonsi, for those asking to support Koikimedia, I'm just posting, I'm the one posting, so there's nobody else posting, I'm the one posting. You can just use that to make your contribution to support us in your own little ways, and we always appreciate. If you don't have, then you don't have to stress too much. If you have, we will say thank you so much, because like I said, without you, we cannot do much from what we are doing right now. But with your support, it goes a long way, and it helps us keeps the media platform independent. We don't need politicians to come and fund this platform. It can be funded by the public. It is ethical. It is something that we can ask. I am not the only media. This paper produced every Monday to Friday. It's called the Metro newspaper. Most of you in UK will have seen it at some point. The question you should ask yourself is, who is funding it for them to be producing it every Monday to Friday, no weekend, including the Evening Standard? When I came to this country over 20 something years ago, Evening Standard, you would buy it, I think about 20p or 10p then. Then all of a sudden, it became a free newspaper. Who is funding it is due to the advert. Moria, brother, I mean, easy. Aziz, all the way from Miami. And the rest of you, Aziz in other part of America and wherever you are. And you can also support with Kofi. Most independent journalists do ask for support, which again can allow us to do much of what we are doing. So all those details I've posted. Just click on whichever one is convenient for you. If you're not too sure, my number is +447594050979. I know I'm a bit fast, but all my details, you can find it on the koikimedia.com. If you're not too sure about anything, maybe you can reach out to me first. So let's finish this in the last half an hour of the program before we start bringing it to an end. Our homeland was a land of great commerce. It is still meant to be like that, but it is very difficult. The commerce is not there anymore because what is restricted. Most of you want to do very well. You want to trade, you want to do this, but the question is, there is not much commerce going in Yoruba land anymore. Most traders traded only within their towns during that era. Now that things have opened up, Oyakama trade all the way to other African countries, especially Benin Republic. Try to take goods into Benin. You will see how difficult it is. But look at the one from the border of the north. You realize that the jihadis will bring weapons and all kinds into the country. We have various sizes of marketplaces existed. Some of the largest markets were famous throughout our country and even beyond our country. One European trader wrote in about 1700. Remember, there was no Nigeria as at the time. Mokibo Gwentemboa and all the silent listeners. Some of you don't want me to know you're there, but I know you're there. Whether you have gone to that crazy woman and you're probably feeling like, comment, no, don't worry. You probably thought maybe she was doing the right thing. Then you realize that you can always come back. We will welcome you back. But for you to say that you are still believing in her, but program time, you're wasting your time. Yoruba don't have a country yet. but we are working towards to have an independent country away from Nigeria. We're almost there. Our European trader wrote in about 1700 that one Yoruba marketplace that he visited was at least 4 times the size of the new market in Amsterdam ní 1700. Ẹni tó lọ síbẹ̀ ní àwọn Europeans aláwọ̀ funfun ní ọjà yẹn ó tóbi lẹ́ẹ̀mẹrin ju ti ọjà tó ń pè ní new market in Amsterdam. That not less than 6,000 traders were trading in it in the morning, and that he was greatly impressed by the orderliness that prevailed in it. Kò ń ṣe ọjà nísìn tá a máa dé ní mile 12 gbogbo ẹ̀rí jágba jògbó. Unbelievable. From a long distance away rode some explorers. The noise, àwọn ohun tó ń jáde nínú ọjà, ìyẹn ni àwọn kan ṣe máa sọ fún mi pé Koiki, ariwo ọjà ni ìwọ máa bá tiẹ̀ lọ, má jẹ́ kí èèyàn kankan distracted. Mostly my mom and my wife say that all the time, because I know some people come in not just for anything, to distract me, to make me go a little bit with some of their stupid comment. Àwọn tó ń kówó yín jẹ tó ń ṣe jàǹbá fún yín ẹ lọ bá wọn, because you have access to comment, but that will probably be your last comment, especially most of you that always attack my platform to say you are not bringing any good news from Nigeria. I'm asking, where is the good news from that zoological bastard country that has created evil for itself and not us? The noise from the large Yoruba marketplace on the market day was like the roaring of a great sea. Tó bá gbọ́ omi tó máa ń dùn tó bá travel lórí omi. Wọ́n ní bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Many marketplaces offer nighttime trading. I don't know whether there is still night market in Nigeria today, especially in the southwest or Jale, but then there used to be. This commonly meant that the daytime trading closed at 6 ní aago mẹ́fà, and the nighttime trading start at 9 p.m. One in 1825 again, the explorer wrote that when one approached a nighttime market from distance, tó bá dé ọjà yẹn ní alẹ́, it was as if one was approaching a sea of stars. Á dàbí ìgbà tó yẹ pé òun rí àwọn ìràwọ̀ lókè, because the traders lighted small oil lamps to emulate the goods they were selling. Ṣé mọ̀ pé by now kò ní jẹ́ lamp la máa lò, a máa lò. My mom bought something that almost gave me like, and I'm going to take a picture of that because I've never seen it. I know that things are changing. Have anybody seen this lantern that is rechargeable? I've never seen it before, but mom see me rock on like way. I saw it in a London nígbà tí mo lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn. Lantern, ṣe mo lantern táwa ṣe mo máa tan tá máa rọ kerosene sí, wọ́n ti ṣe rechargeable ẹ̀. Oh my God. I'll take the picture and upload it on the social media. Hopefully tí bá tó lọ sọ́dọ̀ mom see me. Have anybody seen it? I think she said she bought it from Amazon. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, lantern, àtùpà, lantern, rechargeable. So bí a tọ́ bá ti charge ẹ̀ bí ó máa last for 1 hour 2 hours. So instead ẹ máa rọ kerosene sí pẹ̀lú òwú tó máa ìyá jẹ́yàn Nàìjíríà yẹn. Ó bá ti múná lọ báyìí kò tẹ̀sí náà kò sí pé iná wà díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà. Grandma mi àní ó yá lọ gbé àwọn àtùpà yẹn jáde, ìgbà mi òwú yẹn àti há síbẹ̀ ṣe máa yọ aṣáàdúpẹ́ fọlọ́n. So wọ́n ní 1825 ní ọjà alẹ́ táwọn òyìnbó yẹn bá ń approach ọjà yẹn àbí táwọn yẹn bá approach ọjà, iná máa tàn lọ́gbó bí ìgbà tí star tó bá jáde nísìn depending on the weather nílùú tó bá wà, ìwọ náà tẹ̀ wò ta pé báwo lókè ń ṣe wàá máa rí ìràwọ̀ tó pọ̀ lókè. Kọ́lọ́n jẹ́ kí ìràwọ̀ Yorùbá kó tàn ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. Again, in 1825, explorer also wrote again and again that the road connecting the Yoruba towns were generally well kept and were often as level as a bowling green, that every stretch of road through each kingdom was very well guarded. And this is where we're going to be bringing the conversation on this end. In terms of nígbà táwọn òyìnbó tó dé, gbogbo ọ̀nà wa kò sí ewu kankan níbẹ̀. Àwọn tó ń ṣọ́ ibodè, they are always there. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gba rìbá, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ pé wetin you carry. Maybe we should add this one to it as well. By the officials of the king, and that traders and other travelers kept all the roads busy. Washing machine, the Yoruba land today, like I said, some are still taking the risk to travel the late night journey, but there is not much activities in almost every Yoruba land after 9 p.m. It is dead, but some places are still, active. An American explorer known as William Clark, who traveled extensively in the Yoruba land in the early 1850s, wrote as follows about the nature and the volume of trade in Yoruba land in those years. The trade in native produce and art keeps up the continual intercommunication between the several adjacent towns, the one interchanging its abundance of one article for that of another. Thus, on those small routes may be seen caravans of 50s passing almost daily from one town to the other. In terms of eye mọ́tò tó ń lọ láti ibìkan sí ibìkan were just two very, about 50 of them. Then from the one town to the other, acting as the great reservoirs of trade. On the longer roads, a network of traders is carried to a distance of about hundreds of miles. Hundreds and thousands of people are also engaged in carrying the trade. Not frequently, the articles of the Mediterranean and the Western European coast may be seen in a close proximity, and the product of the four quarters of the globe within a circumference whose diameter may be measured by few yards. When several caravans are thrown together, a correct ideal of the extent of the trade may be found in the imposing numbers that stretch over the several miles. So in terms of the amount of trade, the amount of trade that was going on in the Yoruba land in the 1825 was very massive, big. I've shown you a few times, if you follow my page very well, I love to go out and then show you the motorways. The reason why I do those things is because I just wanted to see how busy the road network is, the volume of the trade that is going on the UK network. They cannot allow that road network to be shut down for too long. If it is an accident or serious, you must keep the flow of the motorway continuously. If not, on the, I don't know which one, I think it's on the one of the motorway, I can't remember which one. Next time I will pass by, I'll write it down. The Amazon warehouse, massive. The Lidl warehouse, massive. I think it's on the M23 or either the M1, I can't remember now, but definitely not on the M25. Tibani, massive. Amazon, Lidl, these are all places. Muki Awalen contributing and the rest of you. We're almost ending the program, so don't run away. Just let's keep it together. What is this about those cranking lantern? And the Mori lantern, a lot of mom say me more like when you better jelly. But again, technology is moving very fast. So the lantern has been done in a rechargeable way. The office sent a senior con in Nigeria, and I don't know what she wants to do with it. But anyway, as I will leave it on that note, we will treat more of these in the next 48 hours, God's willing. Then on Monday or following week, we will then we'll be more. So most of the biggest traders All right. So number 8 ni mo kade. So I will take it from number 9. Hopefully, all about information ni ọ̀la. But next week, there's a lot of it, but it's gonna take months and months before we catch up because it's not something that I'm just gonna be doing. We have to take time to so that àwọn tó bá lọ́wọ́ àwọn videos tá à ń ṣe ní the next couple of days in terms of my backward lórí platform tiwa lélẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sáwọn other short one tí máa ń ṣe níta. From next week, I'll be discussing, and this is Baba Kitoye that wrote this, okay? Not me. I'm just treating it. The next one I'm treating next week, like ORILEEDE, is in independent Nigeria. Nínú independent Nigeria, we have suffered serious decline and agony. That is going to be an interesting one. Nínú independent Nigeria, ta ló suffer serious decline. I don't know, maybe your family were doing very well and they're still doing very well since 1960. Ta ló suffer agony nínú Nigeria? These are questions that will be nice to ask in the next couple of days from next week, God's willing. In Jesus' name, inshallah. The topic will be in independent Nigeria. We have suffered serious decline and agony. You can put it there. Maybe you never suffered one. You are one of the lucky ones. And if you're one of those that have suffered, then you might also want to tell us a little bit. So, as I'm going to be winding down, what we're going to do maybe this weekend is allow phone call in based on a late at it soloria. If you have not watched any of the ones I've done, you need to go back on my pages, mostly the YouTube or the Facebook or Twitter. And I do also download the one I'm doing from the laptop because I've not really used my laptop streaming for a while. I don't know why. And I also upload that. So you will find all the topics that we've treated on this particular path to prosperity in ORILEEDE Yoruba. We are a nation with a proud root and a proud history. So you go back on my pages, I've treated about, looking at it so far, we started with 1, 2, 3. So this is the 4th one that I'm talking about. Same topic, but almost the 4th one. The first one we did so far has gained about 3,000 views from one channel. Remember, I have multiple channels. So I'm just using the Koikimedia. The next one I did was 2 hours 59 minutes. About 2.5 people K views have watched it. The one I did today, this is the 4th program we're doing in the last couple of 12 hours. 10 hours ago, I did one yesterday morning. At about this time yesterday morning, I was preparing for a program. I woke up in the middle of the night, and at 3 a.m. we had that program up to about 5 or thereabouts. So 10 hours ago, the one I've done again, about 1.1 people have watched it. So far, this is the last one for this, but the next couple of days until Sunday, maybe it's a Sunday, I'll open the phone line, so ewa feminine views to lórí discussion. If you watch all those 4 with this, which is the 4th one, is the same topic, but the analyses are all different. You will not see repetitive on it. That is the beauty of this platform. I use a lot of analysis from things happening globally in the zoo, and then bring it together and with some of your comments that I read, and we make it a stable program. And that is how far we're going to be taking you these early hours of the morning. I am known as OLAYOMI KOIKI, Koikimedia. I normally bring the world closer to your doorsteps. I've seen some of you that says, Koiki, why are you bringing other news? Well, I am not one of your bloggers or your vlogs. I am a registered media organization in the UK. As much as I've decided to use my platform to talk about Yoruba nation, continuously does not mean that we do not have the right to talk about other news happening in the zoo and likewise Africa and the global world. So if you're one of those that get news will don't expect me to just sit back when there are other news that we need to talk about. Some of those news might not be of interest to you, just leave it. But it is called media, and that what makes me different from the others. Not that I'm proud about it, but I am also just loving it that I can do it with a strong team. So you might not see that from other media because that is not what they do. That is what makes us different from others. And I'm also a registered journalist in the UK. I am not one of your bloggers, okay? I'm not your vlog. I don't blog. I talk about things. You can follow us on all the platforms, mostly X, which is the former Twitter, where we also do a lot of posting. I've seen a lot of few articles that have been drafted by my team. I'll be posting that after this program, and I'll probably sit down, for probably, few hours if I have. As I leave you all, again, I will appreciate if you help us to follow the platforms that we've told you to. It is for the interest. Thank you so much, Erickson. You're the only one that comments on the live Twitter. The numbers is good this evening. We have 74 people. It could be better, but it's not too bad. Don't worry about the numbers on the Facebook. Facebook doesn't want my program to go out. With 500,000 followers, we have been restricted, but it doesn't make any difference. My message will still pass through. Biafra will go, Yoruba will go, Arewa will go, Edo will go. The indigenous people, Ijaws, will leave Nigeria. We are the owners of the land. It was the British that forced the nonsense called amalgamation on us. The election in UK is just about 5 weeks away. Do you think that the new Prime Minister, be it Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem, or the Green Party, I don't know if they're going to get enough numbers, enough seats at the Parliament, do you think that they will make any changes into this struggle for self-determination? I can also confirm that a lot of you, Koiki, there is a Yoruba UK party that is established in UK. We don't know what it's all about. Well, I can tell you that I've been communicating with the people behind it, which is Bashegun. He has spoken to me. We are meant to bring him on the program. Hopefully, I'll see how soon that can happen. Then he will come and explain to us what it's all about with the Yoruba UK political party. It is not a Nigeria political party. Remember that he lives here. He has the right to set up a political party. Even Kobe, is it Kobe? I've got to get his name right now. Is contesting as a former Labour leader. Is in Islington. Okay, I can find out anyway. Just MP Islington. Is contesting as an independent candidate. Jeremy Corbyn. So Jeremy Corbyn, he will be contesting. He's 74 years old, born in 1949. He was one time a Labour leader. He's a full activist, but they don't like him. So he will be contesting as a member of the Parliament. And this is 13 hours ago. Meet London Islington candidate fighting Corbyn as NEC denies CLP. So he has left Corbyn expelled from the Labour Party after confirming he will stand as an independent. Is loved, I can tell you that. The chances that it will return back is high. So in terms of the Yoruba political party set up in UK, how does it have any impact to the struggle? These are questions that most of you wants to know from Bashegun. Was Babakitoye consulted before it was set up? I don't know. I've not spoken to Professor to ask him. I didn't ask Bashegu himself. These are questions that maybe we might ask him if we bring him on the show at some point. But is a political party set up in UK called Yoruba UK Political Party, is it worth it? Well, looking at the Alba Party that I have followed in Scotland, the Alba Party is set up for the purpose of the independence of the Scottish people. Well, there's always advantage and disadvantage to everything. A political party in UK means that from what he has said, at least you have access to the PM, as against when you write him, they don't answer, because now you are all the same political party. And it's not like the Nigerian political party. Everything here has rules and regulation under the electoral blah blah blah. So again, fẹ́yìn tẹ́tí ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ mi pé Koiki kò yé yín understand ṣé àtúntún ṣe Yorùbá party nínú UK ni? This is an independent group of people that set that up, just like anyone can set up. Èbíyàn kan ló dá iléeṣẹ́ bread ilẹ̀ ní Canada tó ń ta bread ní Canada, a Nigerian guy, a Yoruba man precisely. So like I said, this has nothing to do with the Yoruba nation under Ilana and YSDM. But like I said, whether they brief Babakitoye about it, that we will be setting this up, and it might be an advantage. Yes, if we have an MP in the house to talk about what we are discussing, is a bonus, it's an advantage. But again, that is all I can tell you so far. And on that note, I would say, iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa forílẹ̀ ìbí wa kàgbéga 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 fàlẹ́rì ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bàtìbẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ́ ká máa lépa ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ̀ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Thank you so much to everyone that have stayed tuned. I know it's a late one, but it's what it is. Alan Conde, just the last two comments, says, my brother, we have different type here made by the secondary school children in China. Alan Conde lives he's a Yoruba that lives in China. He also said lamps have different types here built by secondary school children in China. But in Yoruba land, our secondary school children are doing olosho, yahoo, smoking weed and drugs every day. Yet our leaders and politicians and kings sees nothing wrong in that, but only thinking about their own family. I have a question. Did Babawolowo train all these old fools as a monster to destroy the upcoming generation? I don't think Babawolowo trained them to that. It's just that these Yoruba bastard politicians decided not to be concerned about who we are and the future of the Yoruba people. And on that note, Orayolama Son, checking out now. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Have a very good morning. Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Odaro.